ladies and gentlemen.
You know what it is. It's the people's house. Big Zeus. It's the people's house.
Let's see if this works today, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
Pull up to the gate at 1600 on the map. Yeah, supposed to be the people's house. I make it like a trap. Marble floors and
ladies and
chandeliers.
gentlemen.
I'm rolling through the wall. Power through the people. Yeah, I gotta make that call.
Hey.
Trapping for the team, red and white and blue.
Let's see if this works today, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm breaking through.
You know what happened yesterday.
I'm in the lobby. Yeah, I'm moving like an OG. Posted in the Oval Office
In the executive suite.
Yeah. Signing for the fam. Yeah, you know my game strong.
Freedom is the banner and I got my chains on. Secret Service watching snipers sitting on the roof.
Truth is hitting.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday.
Founding father's vision.
Yeah, I'm flexing with this cash. Big pharma, big tech, turn these dreams to bags.
I'm the voice of the hood.
Welcome.
Trying to come and storm the gates.
Balance in my hand, but the system's overweight. They painted white, yeah, but the stains running deep.
Promise they selling it, but you know it ain't coming cheap. Legends walk these rooms, Lincoln, MLK. Now it's photo ops, power plays all day. I'm trapping for the vote. Big Zeus, it's the people's house. Big Zeus, powers in the air. Big Zeus, yeah. We knocking on the door. Big Zeus,
We wanna hear your soul.
yeah. Who you think they asking for? They asking for that smoke. People or them players, yeah, y'all think this is a joke. Take it back and
write the code.
1600, got your soul.
Good morning to all of you.
On the wall, they staring at me like I'm cold. Greatest story ever told. I will never ever fold. I'm trapping out the west wing, doing deals all in the dark. Make your dreams come
WCC.
true. All I need is a spark.
Red phone ringing, but you don't know who is on my line. Got the Constitution
jumping, yeah, you know.
Let's go, let's go.
No stains on my kicks and the rally outside.
Good morning, Shelly, yes.
This power never divides.
Snow White, good morning. Cece, good morning. Peaceful Mind, good morning. Ken, good morning. Batman, good morning. Ralph, good morning.
Money talk loud, time to clap.
Good morning, Brother Heaven.
That's a fact. It's a rap. I'ma bring it back.
Thank you, everyone, for rizzing the live up. You know what to do.
We knocking on your door.
Big Zeus.
It's the people's house.
They wanna hear your soul.
Big Zeus.
Big Zeus. All right, let's get this show started, ladies and gentlemen. We don't got all morning to do the Lord's work. Happy Friday. It's the last Friday of the month. Last Friday of Black History Month, right? That's pretty impressive. There we go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we are back. Let's go.
It's deja vu when I'm running up these racks.
I'm like the Terminator screaming, I'll be back. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. You know what we're here to do.
It's like every week I gotta take out the trash.
I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass.
Cars in the garage with tanks full of gas.
I play the game so
Raw, I won't finish last. Sitting in my living room.
shout out to the mods. Yes, this is how it's supposed to happen.
When you get your famous, the algorithm turned you to a maniac.
Yeah, I guess we going viral because my Zodiac. I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet. Benjamin Franklin is my bestie. Am I right, Heaven?
And if they use my
We came up with that line together. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
I say it with my chest.
All right, here it goes. This is the Zeus haters right here. Here they go. These are the Zeus haters. Oh, that's racist. Here it goes.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live in
That's a lie.
days. That shit was
Please keep it
radical.
clean, ma'am.
It was horrible.
Sure.
I'm like, Zeus has gone way off.
I've gone way off the rails. No, you haven't seen it. No. Did you see Trump's State of the Union? He had stuff coming out of his mouth. You really think I'm off the rails? All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday, February 27th. Once again, we're back in the Thunderdome. I'm your host, I'm your pilot, and once again, we're here to do the real work that it takes to save this once upon a time on its way of being a great country of ours from the evil clutches of Donald Trump and his legion of demons. I call them demons on this show. You know, they don't even call themselves Trump supporters anymore. They call themselves creative names. I'm a conservative, or I voted for Trump, whatever it was that caused you to go do it. We hold them accountable for their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds as crimes on this show. All right. And so with that being said, let's take care of some very, very important housekeeping items. For those of you just tuning in, running across a live like this on TikTok, it's not like a live where, you know, you see people debate. I used to kind of talk to a lot of Trump voters, but I don't do that anymore because I got to stay on message, and these folks aren't going to distract me. I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because I am honest. I'm the most honest person on social media, hands down. There's nobody more honest than me. All right. The second H is because I am humble. There's nobody more humble than me. No one on this app is more humble than me. All right. And then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, is because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, the most handsome. If I were you, Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom, I would zip it in my comment section, because what I heard yesterday about you, if I were you, I'd zip it. I thought you were nasty when I found out that you eat onions for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because, you know, I didn't know that's what MAGA demons eat. They eat onions. But what I heard him saying yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, it would blow your socks off. So if I were you, Tiny Take Top Tim Tom, I would totally zip it, because one thing is for sure, Trump supporters, their diets aren't healthy, and a lot of them, the demon inside of them, whew, I'm not even going to get into that. All right. That's a W, Zeus. And he knows what I'm talking about. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. If I were you, I'd zip it. All right. And so, like I said, what I do is I hold the mirror up to these people who voted for Donald Trump, and I say, look, like Wildman, what is his name? Wildman 69. You know, that's a grinder name he has. I say, look, this is your daddy. Read it and weep. All right. This is not okay. You want to call him a Democrat? Fine. He used to be a Democrat, but this is the person you voted for. You voted for a convicted felon who's actively involved in committing crimes every day in the White House. And so if you can't handle me talking about your dear leader, your daddy, I'm going to say this. You might want to leave this show, because it gets very, very uncomfortable in here. I cover a lot of topics. You know, I don't mind covering some of the tough topics. I don't mind covering some of the light topics. And what I'm going to do is make sure by the time you're done talking to me, 1,000% of the time, you end up disliking me, right? And I'll ask the audience. Let me ask the audience, because I have an amazing group of people here. Does anyone get upset if MAGA dislikes them? Is anyone upset when a Trump supporter doesn't like them? Is there anyone out there that gets upset when a Trump supporter gets upset and says, I don't like you anymore? Who gets upset about that? See, we don't care. W to the chat. Because it's actually a compliment. All right. So with that being said, I'll say this. If you can't handle these kind of conversations, you might want to leave this show right now, MAGA. Especially you, MAGA. Because I promise I'll hurt your feelings. But get this, you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. Wow. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the doors to the Thunderdome have officially closed, and you know the rules. During showtime, it's like game time. You keep what's off the court, and we just talk about what we're doing on this show. I don't have time for it, honestly. It's exhausting. All right. So let's get started with some of the most pressing issues that are going on right now. Let's see if my show doesn't have any technical difficulties like it did yesterday. But many of you saw what happened yesterday, and we'll go into it with more detail. But the most, I guess, important thing to know today, ladies and gentlemen, is one of Donald Trump's faithful servants today is supposed to be deposing former President Bill Clinton. All right. And so, they tried something with Hillary Clinton yesterday, but we'll let James Comer, the one that was supposed to impeach former President Joe Biden, but for some strange reason could never do it. They're going to go depose former President Bill Clinton over his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. And what we'll do is We'll let him say what he needs to say, and then we'll go straight to judgment.
Well, she said many times under oath that she had never met Jeffrey Epstein. The reason she was asked so many times is we kept presenting new items of evidence, emails from Epstein where he implied that he was very close with the Clinton family, including Hillary. Emails that implied that he set up the Clinton Foundation, that he was one of the biggest donors and one of the main early seed money raisers for the Clinton Global Initiative. And when we asked about that, Hillary said she didn't have anything to do with the Clinton Global Initiative at that time because she was a U.S. senator. So she was asked many times about questions with respect to Jeffrey Epstein because there were many forms of evidence in the documents that have been released by the Department of Justice and the estate that included her name in there. And she kept saying not only did she not have a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, that he was a shyster and you know, he was a con artist and all of that.
Boom, 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 boom. And so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is James Comer trying to make it look like Hillary Clinton is, you know, somehow very deeply involved with Jeffrey Epstein. And all I can say is this, ladies and gentlemen. All I can say is this. From what I saw yesterday, you know, my position is whoever is involved with Jeffrey Epstein, you got to go. But I just didn't get the feeling that Hillary Clinton was the problem yesterday. Did anyone think Hillary Clinton had the same connection with Jeffrey Epstein that Melania Trump had? Who do you think had more ties to Jeffrey Epstein? Hillary Clinton or Melania Trump? I'm just curious, because what I really do like about this, ladies and gentlemen, is what the Republicans are doing is they're opening the door for Donald Trump and Melania Trump to get, you know, put in the same predicament, because, you know, this stuff is all built on precedent. This is politics. And so, yeah, Hillary Clinton didn't want to do the deposition, but she went through and she did it anyway, despite what we all heard happen yesterday. And so what we'll do is this. Let me go ahead and warm up the lake of fire. And this is for James Comer. He reminds me of that TV show, The Pinky and the Brain. We're going to get him, you know, how they try to do with Joe Biden, but they never could. But then we got criminals right in front of his face. And for some strange reason, James Comer, you are like Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder. You know what it means. You're part of the cover-up. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending James Comer straight to hell for being part of the Epstein Files cover-up. Thank you, everyone.
Silence, you MAGA.
Oh, I didn't mention this, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't mention this. I woke up to this, by the way. PSA announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, PSA announcement. I didn't know if you knew this or not, but it looks like, what is this? According to the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem on February 27, 2026, the Department of State authorized the departure of non-emergency U.S. government personnel and family members of the U.S. government personnel from Mission Israel due to safety risk. In response to security incidents and without advance notice, the U.S. Embassy may further restrict or prohibit U.S. government employees and their family members from traveling to certain areas of Israel, the old city of Jerusalem, and the West Banks. Persons may wish to consider leaving Israel while commercial flights are available. So what this tells me, ladies and gentlemen, is wasn't Donald Trump supposed to be the president of No More Wars? Wasn't he supposed to be that guy? Was he supposed to be that guy? Does this look like, is this a good thing or a bad thing, ladies and gentlemen, for us here in the United States? Is this a good thing or a bad thing, MAGA? Actually, I asked the chat, is this a good thing or a bad thing? I'm curious, because it's almost as if Donald Trump wants to get us into it's bad. Wow, I agree. It's very bad, yeah. Whether it's what he did in Venezuela, the boom booms strikes that are going on in the Eastern Pacific and in the Caribbean, and now this possible conflict with Iran. One thing is for sure, this screams that Donald Trump clearly is guilty. Guilty as charged. And he's going to do everything, ladies and gentlemen. He is, to avoid going to prison. But we're not going to let him, ladies and gentlemen. So what we'll do is this. Once again, MAGA, I'm going to warm up the lake of fire for you, because remember when Donald Trump beat Kamala Harris and you go, this is what we voted for. Famous, you know what they call those? Famous last words. Or the one that you got where you said, I voted for a felon. You thought the joke was on me. It's not on me. It's on you. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending MAGA straight to hell for this. Y'all voted for this. Y'all voted for it. Yeah.
Silence, you MAGA.
And that's another huge. That's another huge W Zeus. You know, the next thing that I wanted to talk about was, the issue with the economy. Does anyone out there think that things are going great when it comes to the economy? Who thinks that the economy is doing better under Donald Trump? Anyone out there think the economy is doing better under Donald Trump? Please, I don't need you to come up here. Just say I do in the chat if you believe that the economy is doing better under Donald Trump. All right. And what I want to do is just share something with you. This is happening. Honestly, this is happening all over the United States. I talk to students. You get out of, you're going into college and you're trying to get your life together, or even some students who've graduated and they're trying to get their feet planted. The main thing you need, especially after you graduate, is a place to stay and a stable job that can actually pay for you to be able to stay there, because they don't want to keep taking money from their family and their parents and things like that. They're really trying to make it. And, I heard a very sad story. They said, I've been applying for a job for 9 months, Big Zeus, and I just can't get it. The only jobs I can get are like the ones barely paying enough, just to eat. And then there's a video about this, a caller called in to C-SPAN. You could go watch that video. But a majority of people, especially our younger generation, they don't have enough money to get their first apartment or their first house. They can't buy a house. But Donald Trump and his supporters keep trying to say, oh, things are doing great. Oh, you know what they like to say? Well, prove to me that things are doing great. Look at the egg prices. This is what I told the student. I said, well, you got cheaper eggs, right? And they laughed at me in my face. They said, that's not really going to help me. Cheaper eggs are great, but that's not really going to help me. I don't eat eggs all day. So the egg, and I said, what about the gas prices? That's not helping it either, Zeus. And I said, well, that's sad because, the president of the United States said things in this country are doing great, but what you're telling me is that they're not. And so I did a little digging around and I said, because maybe the student was lying to me, right? Because, people could be lying, small business owners, maybe they could just be lying to me. But then I ran across something that I think I need to share out with MAGA so that they can understand going into the midterms why they shouldn't believe Donald Trump when he starts saying things like the election is rigged. All right. No, the election is not going to be rigged. It turns out a lot of people in the country have a problem with this man. So let's go ahead and listen to some real news. This is real news. This is real updates about the economy, ladies and gentlemen. So bear with me. There you go. Listen up, MAGA.
Let's go and bring in Elizabeth Schulze for a reality check. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Hey, good morning, Michael. President Trump is painting a rosy picture of the economy at a time when many households say they are not feeling it. Our latest poll finds 48% of Americans say that the economy has gotten worse since Trump became president.
Let's stop there. So I want MAGA to understand that's half the country. Oh, you know what, Zeus? How many people did they sample when they did this survey? Enough people. But do you understand what this means for Donald Trump going into midterms? When you layer this, and I'm going to say it so that most people, because a lot of people, they're not educated enough to understand the impact of the tariffs. The way you should look at the tariffs that Donald Trump illegally placed on Americans is he robbed you. The president of the United States of America robbed every single American to the tune of maybe $1,000 to $5,000 by placing these tariffs on us, these illegal tariffs. And then you add that to this reality right here. This reality right here.
29% say it's gotten better. The president used this speech.
Well, let's see where are we at, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's go back. Okay, did a little bit of a pause. Hold on.
To tout economic numbers that look good on paper, record highs in the stock market, lower gas prices, falling mortgage rates. But for many families, their perception of the economy comes down to what they are paying for day-to-day essentials, and many of those costs are rising. Government data shows that since President Trump took office, electricity bills are up 6%, medical care and daycare costs up 4%, rent is up about 3%, grocery bills up 2%.
Look at that. I want MAGA to focus on this. I want MAGA to focus on this because when voters go and vote during the midterms, we understand Donald Trump is on the ballot. Let me ask the audience, how many of you want more of Donald Trump ripping you off with tariffs? How many of you want more of Donald Trump jacking your utility bills up, your Medicare cost up, your daycare cost? Who wants more of this, ladies and gentlemen? Raise your hand. Where are my Trump voters that love to troll me? Look at the audience. W to the chat. Nobody wants more of this. So you can see what's going to happen during the midterm. I shouldn't have to slow things down like this for you Trump supporters to understand why he is going to lose during the midterms. You can't take money from people and then expect a normal person to continue to support you. Maybe you're in a cult, but a majority of us are not.
Eggs are down, but other staples like coffee are up double digits. So while the president says that inflation is plummeting, when you put all of this together, the typical household is spending about $170 extra every month compared to last year. And for lower and middle income households especially, their take-home pay is not keeping up with those price hikes, underscoring a widening divide in the economy.
Boom. And so that's another huge, ladies and gentlemen, that's another huge W. That's a huge W, Zeus. And I don't need MAGA to get in my box and explain this to me because, you know, you get some of these characters, they come up here with their little feel-good lies and try to get you to go, see, Zeus, you didn't think of it this way. It's okay to have Donald Trump take your money because we got a sealed border. You know what I say to you? You know what? Give Donald Trump everything you got then. If you really feel that strongly about the border, why don't you just sell whatever you got? Sell your house, sell your car, give up your wife, give it up all to Donald Trump if you really felt that way. And most of them, they'll go, oh no, I can't bring myself to do that. Because guess what? What would that be? That'd be another W, Zeus. And by the way, did you hear about inflation going up? AI causing a lot of companies to lay people off. I could go on and on. I mean, there is so much. There's just so much hell going on in this country right now. And one other thing that I wanted to bring up, MAGA, because I know they hate when I do this, but, you know, I'm on Investopedia.com. You can go check. This is something, and I believe my brother Val brought this up a couple of days ago. More people are falling behind on their mortgage payments. Think about that. I just told you the story about college kids can't even get their own first apartment, but you got people who got a place to stay and they're falling behind on their mortgage payments. But guess what? You got eggs. Guess what? You got gas. You got cheaper gas, right? Woo, you can't make this stuff up. The number of homeowners beginning to fall behind on their payments rose by nearly a third over the last year, in a sign that the high cost of living is causing financial distress for more households. This is what the Democrats have been telling you, MAGA. This is what Americans all over the country, real independents, real Republicans, this is what we've been saying. That's according to a report from the credit scoring company Vantage Score Thursday, which said the number of people 1 to 2 months behind on their payments rose by 30.9% over the year in January. So where are the Russian bears at? Where are the Russian bears at that were trying to bring all kinds of bureau and labor statistics to Big Zeus when I joined their, it was this disgusting live. Where are the Russian bears at? Please send us all the guest requests on this show. I'm giving you an invite. Please come on to my show and you tell us all why we shouldn't believe what we see happening here in the economy and we should trust you. And if you bring yourselves up, you must produce evidence, all right? And I mean evidence. Show us your bank account, all right? Show us you log, because you know they'll get a screenshot and they try to say this is my bank account. No, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear your mouth. I don't want to see any screenshots you've found on the internet, you know, because you could find anything with the internet and do use AI. Just show us proof that what you are saying is true. Show us your utility bills. Show us your 401k. And we got to see what it was like when Biden was in office, and we got to see where it's at today. And then show us your checking, your savings accounts, or whatever accounts you got to prove to us that this isn't true. Where are they? Where are they? I don't even see them. They know. Look at that. They jumped out of the guest request because they know I'm right. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in once again warming up the lake of fire. It's with great pleasure that I do this. Every single Trump voter right now that's supporting Donald Trump is a bold-faced liar. And you should run from them because they are nothing but demons. And you know what we do with demons on this show? If you lie, you must fry. Thank you, everyone. You must fry. Thank you, everyone.
Silence, you MAGA.
And that's a W. That's another huge W, Zeus, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I can't keep racking up these W's on MAGA. It's so easy to do because they don't want to acknowledge what we all see is going on. But we're going to point out these things to them so that they have no other way but to accept what is ultimately going to play out. Because I really do believe that the majority of Americans, when you look at American history, the majority of people want to do the right thing. And one thing we do know right now is Donald Trump knows he is in trouble. He tried the gerrymandering. And what happened with the gerrymandering thing? That backfired on him. Because guess what? Gavin Newsom got a hold of him. Actually, Gavin Newsom. So you only have to gerrymander when you're losing. Right? He tried to convince us that the borders being wide open would result in him losing because he thinks that these people coming into the country are going to vote for him. But then you ask MAGA, were the borders wide open when Joe Biden was in office? Yes, Zeus, they were open. Yes, he let 20 million. Okay, well then how did Joe Biden win? They can't make it make sense, right? And so then they want to pass the SAVE Act. Oh, we got to try to SAVE Act. What are we saving? Donald Trump's life? Oh, why? Because he could end up spending the rest of it in prison along with him and his entire cabinet. Oh, okay. No, we don't want the SAVE Act. That's not necessary. If you were actually doing your job, Donald Trump, you wouldn't be trying to do all these little tricks. But then I hear there's another trick out there, ladies and gentlemen, that he's trying to do in order to steal the election. I mean, and you know he tries to steal elections. Look at what he did on January 6th and everything leading up to it. Check out this new trick Donald Trump is trying to pull on American people in order to steal the election. Some of you may have heard about it, but I got to talk about it on the show because once a cheater, in my opinion, always a cheater.
This crucial midterm election year, and with Republicans holding very slim majorities in the House and the Senate, ABC News has now learned President Trump has reviewed a draft executive order that would involve him declaring a national emergency, potentially giving him sweeping power over voting in this country. So let's get right to Mary Bruce tonight. She's live at the White House. Mary, what have you learned?
Well, David, with the midterms now fast approaching and with Republicans holding those small majorities in Congress, tonight we have learned that President Trump has reviewed this draft executive order urging him to declare a national emergency that would give him broad power over voting. Sources say a group of pro-Trump attorneys are circulating a draft claiming without evidence that China interfered in the 2020 election, arguing that would justify declaring a national emergency that would then allow the president to mandate voter ID, hand-counted ballots, and ban mail-in ballots. Now, it is not clear if the president is going to accept this proposal, but we do know that he is considering executive action to impose stricter voting rules. But, David, the Constitution gives states, not the federal government, the power to run elections.
Boom, 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 boom. So we got a new executive order. We got him sending the DOJ, the FBI out to Fulton County to raid them. He's suing states because they're not giving him access to voter rolls. I mean, come on, MAGA. Can't y'all see it right now? The man knows it's over. Why don't you? You can't convince us that Donald Trump is doing a good job. You don't got to cheat like this when you're doing a good job. You only got to cheat like this when you know you're a criminal, right? So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I have no choice. You leave me no choice. I have to send Donald Trump straight to hell because he's clearly starting to cheat. I mean, never mind, I shouldn't say it. He's clearly cheating in order to try to win, whether it's sending the FBI to go raid the voter's office in Fulton County, whether it's the gerrymandering, whether it's the SAVE Act, whether it's, suing states for their voter rolls. And the list just goes on and on. How desperate are you going to get, MAGA? Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire and sending these cheating, lying, seditionist traitors where they truly, truly belong. Where, Zeus? Straight to hell. I told you.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. And that's a huge W, Zeus, ladies and gentlemen. All right, there you go. You have to, at a certain point, acknowledge, MAGA, the end is near. And I understand right now, there's legal stuff there's legal stuff that's taking place, and then there's the political stuff that's taking place. And this is going to be righteous when it is all said and done. I know a lot of people go, we keep saying we got Donald Trump. We keep saying we got Donald Trump. And I agree. He's been dodging things, and I say, you know what? He's very, very good at it. But I'm noticing the rhetoric is starting to change a little bit, right? I'm starting to notice they're getting more and more comfortable calling him a criminal in the sense of what he did to children. And we're not going to let that go on this show. No, what we are hearing Donald Trump did to those children in the Epstein files, oh, that's going to cost you something, MAGA. And like I said, when it's all said and done, a lot of you Trump supporters, you're going to be begging us, you're going to be begging the Democrats for forgiveness. And my question is this: should we forgive MAGA, ladies and gentlemen? Should we forgive MAGA for putting Donald Trump in the White House again? That's an honest question, right? Should we forgive them? Because accountability is coming. Look at that. W to the chat. Yeah. Never. Thank you, everyone. Not in 3 lifetimes. W heaven. Right? So the next thing that I wanted to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, which is obviously our good friend. Well, actually, you know what? Never mind. I did want to talk about this. This happened yesterday with Zoran Mamdani and Donald Trump. I want to talk about this. All right, I do. I really do, because this was very, very disturbing.
Student detained by ICE walked out of custody and back to her dorm room. And as Ali Bauman reports, it happened after the mayor spoke with the president.
Columbia University's acting president says federal agents pretended to be looking for a missing person and refused to present a warrant before taking the student from her dorm.
Hiding her face and flocked by her friends, Columbia student Eli Agayeva returned to her Manhattan dorm room Thursday afternoon, nearly 12 hours after she was taken by ICE agents.
I came into her living quarters and living area and said, "We're looking for a missing person."
In a video message, Columbia's acting president said 5 federal agents got past the building staff just after 6 a.m. by claiming to be police searching for a missing child.
Now, let me see something real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see something real quick, because there was something the president said that I want to make sure we talk about on this show. All right, do I have what? Okay, here we go. Let me make sure let's play what the president of Columbia said happened that day, all right? Because this is very important.
We are all so relieved that our student, Eli Agayeva, has been released from federal custody. Let me give you some details about what happened this morning. Shortly after 6 a.m., 5 federal agents from the Department of Homeland Security, without any kind of warrant, entered an off-campus Columbia residential building. The agents gained entry by stating they were police searching for a missing child.
See, now, that gets me upset. Once again, what is up with you on the right and kids? Everything with all of you leads to kids. That's why I say I'm watching what's happening with Turning Point USA, and I got questions. Why was Charlie Kirk always around them kids? Now we got Erica Kirk. What's going on with Erica Kirk? Where's her kids? Why is everything always about kids with you so-called Christians?
The agents gained entry by stating they were police searching for a missing child. They made their way to the apartment of the student they were targeting with the same story. Our security cameras captured the agents in the hallway showing pictures of the alleged missing child.
Wow, that's a crime. Where are you getting photos of this alleged? You mean to tell me there was never a child? So whose child are you using to set these traps? See, this is why I truly do believe we are not just dealing with normal things. We're dealing with wickedness. coming from these so-called Christians. These folks should be indicted immediately. No, whose child are you using?
Once inside the apartment, it became clear they had misrepresented themselves. A public safety officer arrived, asked multiple times for a warrant, which was not produced, and asked for time to call his boss, which was not given.
Wow.
The agents took our student.
Wow. So we got kidnapping. This is kidnapping. Adult napping, I guess, if you want to call it that. But you get what I'm saying. Where'd you get the photo of the kid from? Whose baby, whose child are you using in DHS to do this? And how many children are you doing this with? Because you know this wasn't the first time they've tried this.
It's a frightening and fast-moving situation and utterly unacceptable for our students and staff. We started work immediately to gain her release. We are so grateful for the help and support we got from the mayor and the governor. Let me be clear. Misrepresenting identity and other facts to gain access to a residential building is a breach of protocol.
And I mean, because once again, y'all are on a campus where there's children, you know, because these are young adults. I consider them children still. The right has a serious obsession with children. I don't care what you try to tell me anymore. Everything y'all do. I've played so many videos I can't even play anymore because if I post them, you know, I get warnings on social media about. But there is a serious problem with a lot of you so-called Christians on the right and your obsession with children. And you need to stop it because I'm sick of it. There's so many other things going on the planet Earth. Your obsession with kids is sickening. I don't want to hear no more about men and women's sports. No. I don't want to hear anything about the trans issues. No. Talk to me about why you're so obsessed with kids. And you would let something like this happen? Even if you're on the right, imagine it was a photo of your child. Because see, I got to break it down to him. Imagine ICE was using photos of your child to do this. Would you be okay with them using photos of your children to play these games with people on college campuses? With your sick behinds.
All law enforcement agencies are obligated to follow established legal, ethical standards. Let me also add, nobody in our administration has ever provided any assistance to DHS or ICE as regards arresting or taking any of our students. Quite the opposite. We have labored often intensively behind the scenes to see them supported. We understand the fear and anger this situation has caused. We've shared additional guidance and resources with students, faculty, and staff, and will continue to do so. Thank you all for your support of this institution and the people who make Columbia what it is. And I know our thoughts are with Ellie, her roommate, and all of the affected students and staff tonight.
Fair enough. All right. So now I get to do what I came to do. All right. So that's the president of Columbia being very diplomatic and political about wickedness. But do I want to be diplomatic and political about wickedness? Absolutely not. I'm going to call it what it is. Ain't nothing but the devil. This is why, until I get evidence that says otherwise, I firmly believe that everybody right now that is still supporting Donald Trump, you're wicked. You're the worst of the worst. You're the scum of the earth. It's like when your daddy said this about you.
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
You considered it a compliment. And this is why, if you don't love yourself, why should I love you? If you don't respect yourself, why should we respect you? Your life means absolutely nothing. And the reason that I say that, because I'm a nice person, but the idea that you think it is acceptable to harm children and to use children this way, and then come ask me, what happened to the missing children when Biden was in office? Aren't you supposed to be doing a lot better than Biden? Biden never let his DHS use photos of children on college campuses to kidnap other children. Biden never allowed that to happen. You could call him whatever you want to call him, but he never allowed that to happen. And if I found out Joe Biden was doing that, I'd have been on him like white on rice. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, we have to send somebody straight to hell. But this time we need to send the entire party. We got to send the entire MAGA Republican Party where they truly belong. Ladies and gentlemen, these are some of the sickest people that have ever existed on the earth. And the earth has been around for a while, billions of years. But this is the sickest thing I've ever seen in my life. And it goes undetected and unreported. And this is why I don't trust the crime statistics. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending every single Trump supporter where they belong, straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
That's a huge W, Zeus. This is heavy stuff, honestly, ladies and gentlemen. This is a lot of heavy stuff to deal with. This isn't for the faint of heart, so to speak. Keeping up with this administration, you got to be, honestly, you got to have the full armor of salvation, the full body armor, because this stuff could break you down. This stuff could break you down if you don't have the mental strength to endure and see the light at the end of the tunnel with this, because under no circumstances is this going to be acceptable. And a lot of people say, well, what can I do? You know, I'm so busy. What you can do, and this is the only thing that I require, because, you know, people say, Zeus, you know, what do we got to do to help support you? The main thing to do is to be a light in the midst of darkness. All right. Stand up for what is right in whatever spaces you occupy. And especially when you're in this comment section, you see them in the comment section. Every Trump supporter, when they come onto my show, they listen to what we're saying, and they literally have a vexation of the spirit, so to speak. They have an outer body experience. And when you see them doing that, you know, saying things and they're raging, as long as they're not breaking the community guidelines, just keep saying what you're saying. Because I really do believe there's going to be a point where they got to meet their maker, and we need to have documented evidence that they did get an opportunity to hear the truth and show that they heard it and then they rejected it. All right. Now, the last part of the show this morning, ladies and gentlemen, once again, you know, some people say lightning doesn't strike twice in the same spot. I actually think it does. And guess who we get to hear it from again today, ladies and gentlemen? Dun, 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 our good friend, Lawrence O'Donnell, who breaks down why Hillary Clinton, this whole deposition that the Republicans did yesterday, is going to backfire on Donald Trump and Melania Trump. Let's listen to what Lawrence O'Donnell has to say, ladies and gentlemen, and then we'll get straight to judgment.
Who met sex trafficker and raper of children and good friend of Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein. And today, Republicans on the House Oversight Committee decided to question a former First Lady who never met Jeffrey Epstein instead of the First Lady currently occupying the White House.
Who is that a photo of right there, ladies and gentlemen? Is that Hillary Clinton right there, or is that Melania in this photo standing next to Jeffrey Epstein? Let's go ahead and see. They can't see. MAGA hates this. They hate this. That's Melania Trump. Why are we talking to Hillary Clinton? Her emails. And I saw what Benny Johnson and the people who are getting paid on the right, which we all know are getting paid by Russia. We see what they're trying to do. They're trying to spin something into nothing, right? They're trying to spin nothing into something, meaning they're trying to make it seem like because Hillary Clinton was in proximity of Jeffrey Epstein, she somehow is implicated in all the Pizzagate stuff. But for some strange reason, MAGA cannot see this photo. For some strange reason, MAGA cannot see this photo. And I know a lot of them closed their eyes, but I'm going to say who's in the photo. We have Donald Trump, his wife Melania Trump, Epstein, and Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, in this photo, how many of them do we think are traffickers of children? How many do you think of them? How many of these people, I should say, how many have been convicted, number one? I should say it that way. How many of these people? So this, all of you just going to say all of them. We can't give out misinformation. But, you know, I lean towards every one of you that says 4. But 2 of them we know for sure are convicted as traffickers, which begs the question, why is Donald Trump and his wife next to them? We don't have this same photo with Hillary.
Who was friends with Jeffrey Epstein and his convicted sex trafficking co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell. Donald Trump's third wife was friends with both of them. The Epstein files contain emails from Melania Trump to Ghislaine Maxwell complimenting Ghislaine Maxwell.
So Melania was emailing Ghislaine Maxwell and complimenting her. Please keep that in mind, MAGA.
Epstein files contain no communication at all between Hillary Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell, but Republicans on the committee decided they wanted to subpoena Hillary Clinton.
Of course.
Where is their subpoena for Melania Trump?
Bingo.
Who actually knew Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Why aren't they asking Melania Trump? Did Donald Trump introduce you to Jeffrey Epstein, or did Jeffrey Epstein introduce you to Donald Trump? Why aren't they asking Melania Trump what she knew about Jeffrey Epstein? The Epstein files show the Palm Beach police chief saying that Donald Trump told him in 2006, quote, "Thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this."
Boom. Let that sink in. And MAGA likes to use this as evidence that Donald Trump ratted on Jeffrey Epstein. But MAGA isn't looking at it the way that they should be looking at it, all right? Because this is your daddy saying something, MAGA. But what is he not telling you? Well, let's let Lawrence break it down to you simple-minded demons.
If true, that would mean that Donald Trump's wife at that time, Melania Trump, knew he was doing this. She would be included in Donald Trump's term, everyone.
That's how logic works, MAGA. You're talking about the word everyone. Then that, by default, means Melania knew. Now go back to that photo of the four of them standing together. They all knew, according to Donald Trump. If you were to take a test, MAGA, and the question was, of these four people, how many of them knew what Jeffrey Epstein was doing? The correct answer would be all of them.
Melania Trump might have no useful information to provide to the committee, but she did meet Jeffrey Epstein. She was friends with Jeffrey Epstein. She was friends with Ghislaine Maxwell. And it is possible that she knew something. According to her husband, everyone knew.
Boom. According to who? According to whom? Gregory Jones. According to who? Her husband, Donald Trump. And isn't Donald Trump's word in MAGAville, is Donald Trump's word gold? Is Donald Trump's word gold in MAGAville? No, Gregory. Look at Gregory Jones. He wrote speculation. Gregory, please. Donald Trump's word is gold in MAGAville. So according to Donald Trump's own word, Melania knew what he knew.
Hillary Clinton, in a written opening statement to the committee today, made the point that not everyone who has been subpoenaed by the committee has been actually required to testify to the committee. The former Secretary of State, who was also a lawyer and worked on the Congressional Committee investigation of corrupt Republican President Richard Nixon at the beginning of her career, reminded the committee, quote, "You subpoenaed 8 law enforcement officials, all of whom ran the Department of Justice or directed the FBI when Epstein's crimes were investigated and prosecuted. Of those 8, only 1 appeared before the committee. 5 of the 6 former attorneys general were allowed to submit brief statements stating they had no information to provide."
Look at that, MAGA. You subpoenaed 8 law enforcement officials, all of whom ran the DOJ or directed the FBI when his crimes were being committed and prosecuted. And of those 8, only 1 appeared before the committee? Tell me, MAGA, why this is acceptable. Why you don't see it? I get it. This is too much for your brains. This is too much for your brains to handle. Don't worry.
Hillary Clinton should have been offered exactly the same option. Secretary Clinton did provide the committee with a statement stating she had no information to provide, but the Republicans on the committee refused to accept that statement from her The same kind of statement they accepted from other former cabinet
Isn't that
officials.
something?
Secretary Clinton's opening statement was a masterful and thorough condemnation of the Republicans on the committee. She said, quote, "You have made little effort to call the people who show up most prominently in the Epstein files. And when you did, not a single Republican member showed up for Les Wexner's deposition. The institutional failure is designed to protect one political party and one public official."
So the Republicans did not show up when Les Wexner was being deposed. We saw that, and it played out in plain sight. So the question now is, when she says one political party and one public official, who is Hillary Clinton referring to? Who is she referring to, MAGA? Your daddy. Listen up, because listen, normally we get paid to teach. All right. Normally we get paid to teach, but we're giving it to you today because, again, you're in deep, deep trouble and you don't even know it. And we're not throwing you a life jacket.
Secretary Clinton identified that public official by name repeatedly in her opening statement, saying, "You have compelled me to testify, fully aware that I have no knowledge that would assist your investigation in order to distract attention from President Trump's actions and to cover them up despite legitimate calls for answers."
Your daddy, Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen, that's who we are talking about.
Ask him directly under oath about the tens of thousands of times he shows up in the Epstein files. Ask him directly under oath. That's right. Ask Donald Trump directly under oath about the accusation in the Epstein files that he assaulted.
Just because you knew somebody committed a crime is not a crime. Hey, Michael John, actually, you can go down for being an accessory to a crime. So let's not get carried away. All right. You need to relax.
And raped a child. Secretary Clinton, as a former senator, knows how congressional committees should do their work. She told the Republicans on the committee, quote, "A committee run by elected officials with a commitment to transparency would ensure the full release of all the files. It would get to the bottom of reports that DOJ withheld FBI interviews in which a survivor accuses President Trump of heinous crime."
MAGA, look at this. President Trump of what? Heinous crimes. It's in writing. It's in black and white. I told you yesterday, MAGA. We have ironclad evidence. All right. And you're not going to escape this at all. So, Gregory Jones, your favorite word today is speculation. Well, guess where speculation got a lot of folks right now, Gregory Jones? Speculation to get you put in jail. Speculation to get you put into hell. And that's another huge W, Zeus. Keep on typing speculation. Ladies and gentlemen, just look at these demons in the comment section getting triggered because we're forcing them to do something they can't do on their own. They can't read on their own. We're forcing them to see the evidence themselves.
It would subpoena anyone who asked on which night there would be the wildest party on Epstein
Oh, that's
Island.
Elon.
The Epstein files revealed that Elon Musk asked Jeffrey Epstein that question.
Yeah.
When are the Republicans going to subpoena Elon Musk and ask him if he ever went to the wildest party on Epstein Island? And ask him under oath. Make him answer that question under oath. And Secretary Clinton spoke authoritatively on the larger issue of sex trafficking, including the sex trafficking of children. She said, quote, "If you are new to this issue, let me tell you, Jeffrey Epstein was a heinous individual, but he's far from alone. This is not a one-off tabloid sensation."
Now, this is Hillary Clinton reading MAGA to filth because she knows they are the party who is obsessed with children. But she's making sure MAGA understands when it comes to that particular area, she has a track record that's verifiable that you can go and look into yourself that proves she's not just talking the talk, she does the walk. But you cannot say the same thing about the Republican Party, especially when it comes to Donald J. Trump.
or a political scandal. It's a global scourge with an unimaginable human toll. My work combating sex trafficking goes back to my days as First Lady. I worked to pass the first federal legislation against trafficking and was proud that my husband signed the Trafficking Victims Protection Act, which increased support for survivors and gave prosecutors better tools for going after trafficking.
So she's saying, look at what me and Bill have done. We've actually done things to help people who have been put into these nasty networks. We've done that. Can you say the same about Donald Trump, MAGA? No, you cannot.
Let's hear from Melania Trump about what she has done in her position as First Lady about sex trafficking or anything else.
Has anyone heard from Melania Trump about what she's done? Has anyone heard from Melania Trump about what she's done to combat sex trafficking? Not a word. But we found out that she's in that photo, those photos with Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Isn't that something? Look at that. Hey, Gregory, speculation, right?
Hillary Clinton described what she did as Secretary of State. I oversaw nearly 170 anti-trafficking programs in 70 nations and directly pressed foreign leaders to crack down on trafficking networks in their countries. Every year, we published a global report to shine a light on abuses. The findings of those reports triggered sanctions by countries failing to make progress, so they became a powerful diplomatic tool to drive concrete
evidence.
Action. I insisted that the United States be included in the report for the first time ever in 2011 because we must hold ourselves not just to the same standard as the rest of the world, but to an even higher one. Sex trafficking and modern slavery should have no place in America. None.
You would have thought Melania would have already said things like this, but Melania has not brought herself to say anything like this. And so this is a W for Lawrence O'Donnell. And actually a W to all of you in the chat, because whatever you're doing, keep doing it. The demons inside of these people, they're having an outer body experience on this show this morning because they hate when you show them the truth and you stay on them the way you're staying on them. But we're going to keep them, make them look at this.
Infuriatingly, the Trump administration gutted the trafficking in persons office.
Look at that, MAGA. The Trump administration gutted the trafficking in persons office at the State Department, cutting more than 70% of the career civil and foreign service experts who work so hard to prevent that. Oh, I got a live restriction. Oh, I'm hurting feelings, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hurting feelings this morning. You see that?
Silence.
I'll keep going. We'll keep going. It is what it is. All right. It's only 10 minutes.
Cutting more than 70% of the career civil and foreign service experts who worked so hard to prevent trafficking crimes. The message from the Trump administration to the American people and the world could not be clearer. Combating human trafficking is no longer an American priority under the Trump White House. That is a tragedy. It's a scandal. It deserves vigorous investigation and oversight. A committee endeavoring to stop human trafficking would seek to understand what specific steps are needed to fix a system that allowed Epstein to get away with his crimes in 2008. It would demand that Secretary Rubio and Attorney General Bondi testify about why this administration is abandoning survivors and playing into the hands of traffickers. It would put forth legislation to provide more resources and force this administration to act. But that's not happening. Donald Trump, who was called a pedophile protector by an auto worker at a Ford factory, is running an administration that has eliminated the jobs of most of the people who were working every day to prevent sex trafficking crime.
Why would Donald Trump do this? Can we get answers, MAGA? Why would your daddy eliminate these jobs that would actually be necessary to go after the people that are committing the very heinous acts that you all get on social media and try to pretend like you actually give a doggone about? You don't give a doggone about it. You want to be part of it. You're complicit in it. And it's sick.
The people who were working to stop the next Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump fired them. even though we all know that in Washington, the rules don't apply to Republicans. Republicans continue to find ways to shock by breaking rules that have never been broken before. Today, it was Republican Lauren Boebert's turn to do something that has never been done before and is and always has been completely.
What did Lauren Boebert do? What did Lauren Boebert do? Now, this is where we're going. This is the part that sends me over the edge right here, MAGA. This part right here.
Against the rules, Lauren Boebert took a photograph of Secretary Clinton during the deposition and immediately released it publicly to a Trump-supporting media clown.
Oh, see. This is what I'm talking about. You know, when you go into a courtroom, the judge tells you no cell phones allowed. You know, if those of us who are familiar with that setting, it could be traffic court, but no, you don't do that. And you have an elected official going in there, backdooring photos of Hillary Clinton, a woman that didn't know Epstein, sending it to Benny Johnson, the deranged one. Did you all see this? I posted a video about it, and I said, you would rather make this all about you than to actually start getting us closer to getting justice for the survivors and the victims. This is the MAGA. This is the psyche. And then, just to prove that I was right, what did Benny Johnson do? He actually made a video about it, ladies and gentlemen, centering himself and trying to portray himself as the victim. It's always amazing how MAGA, especially these so-called conservative white men, always end up making themselves out to be the victims.
And so badly, she stormed out of her.
They make themselves out to be the victims when they are actually the perpetrators. So let's listen to what Benny Johnson said about what he did, ladies and gentlemen. You can't make this stuff up.
I just pissed off Hillary Clinton so badly, she stormed out of her Epstein deposition. I'm not suicidal. Here's how this all went down. We're trending nationally.
Oh, did you already just say
news articles
I'm not
written about this so badly, she stormed out of her Epstein deposition. And I'm not suicidal. Here's how this all went down. We're trending nationally right now. Millions of news articles written about this photo that I posted. There's nothing wrong with this photo. I mean, I don't think Hillary Clinton looks great in it. It was taken by Lauren Boebert. She's a member of the Oversight Committee. She's deposing Hillary Clinton in a closed-door setting today in New York. Now, Lauren Boebert sent me this photo and told me I could publish it just to kind of show everyone that Hillary Clinton is testifying. It's not a big deal. This is what Hillary Clinton looks like. But her entire team lost their minds over this and started screeching about this. She even sent out her press flacks to go attack me. Listen to this.
He feels attacked. You see this? He now feels attacked. Benny Johnson, this thing has nothing to do with you. But you know what? You're so desperate for clicks and views that you're willing to go ahead and admit, confess, basically, as far as I'm concerned, this is criminal. This needs to be looked into. I'm pretty sure this is criminal, what they did.
If you look on your Twitter feed, you know who it came from?
It came from Benny Johnson. He said Lauren Boebert gave it.
Lauren Boebert.
Yeah, look at Benny Johnson's feed.
And he's thumbing it up.
Follow Benny Johnson. Thank you for your endorsement, Team Hillary. Yikes. I hope the cameras are working when I'm in federal prison. And the point is that there's nothing wrong with posting this photo. The Clintons themselves were the ones who demanded that there be media inside of the room. They wanted this all to be live streamed on TV. So what's wrong with this? They're just looking for an excuse to get out of this testimony. That's what's actually going on. The reason why Hillary Clinton's freaking out and having her team go and run to the press and attacking me is because she doesn't want to have to answer the actual tough questions. She's already lied, by the way. She said that she didn't know Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, that's what she said in this testimony, this little note that she put out before she testified. But that's, not true. Not only did her husband, of course, have Jeffrey Epstein at the White House a million times, fly in his plane a million times, but also Ghislaine Maxwell was involved in Hillary Clinton's pet projects.
This is him. Listen to this. This is the evidence he says proves that Hillary Clinton knew Jeffrey Epstein. But if you listen to what he is saying, he's not able to identify photographs, evidence that show Epstein was communicating directly with Hillary. Nothing. All he is doing is showing people emailing each other about Hillary Clinton and saying, well, because they were emailing each other about Hillary Clinton, then this must mean she knew.
Like, not true. Not only did her
I mean,
husband,
this is
of course,
lying.
have Jeffrey Epstein at the White House a million times, flying his plane a million times, but also Ghislaine Maxwell was involved in Hillary Clinton's pet projects. Ghislaine Maxwell was at Chelsea Clinton's wedding, and Jeffrey Epstein's own emails show that he knew her. Multiple times in Jeffrey Epstein's emails, he talks about what Hillary Clinton looks like up close. He talks about meetings with Hillary Clinton. All these people are emailing Jeffrey Epstein saying, hey, man, we know that you know Hillary Clinton. Can you get me a meeting with her? That's in the emails. So this seems like an obvious lie, and this is what they're trying to distract from, because I posted a photo. It's not going to work. I just want to let you all know I'm not suicidal.
I'm going to stop Benny right there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to stop Benny right there, because enough is enough. What Benny is doing, as far as I am concerned, is trying to cover up more of what Epstein did with Donald Trump. There's no reason you should be backdooring photos of a deposition to anybody in the media. There's no reason. If a Democrat would have done that, I'd have been going, what on earth? You know how much effort it took to get to this place? And then you're going to do something so trivial, so childish. What are you expecting to gain from this? Because, you want attention? Well, guess what? You're going to get the wrong kind of attention, because you know what they say, be careful what you ask for. And so what we see right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's evidence that the Republican Party, they're trying their hardest to cover up what Donald Trump did. Because honestly, even if there's emails about Hillary Clinton, that's not ironclad evidence that Hillary Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein were as close as they're trying to say. We saw the photo, Benny, of Donald Trump. We've seen emails, Benny, of Donald Trump. All right. And we, for some strange reason, we can't get Melania or Donald Trump to come sit down and be deposed, Benny. So using your logic, Benny, if all it takes is for your name to be mentioned in the Epstein files for you to conclude that they knew each other, then why aren't you saying anything about your daddy, your dear leader? Oh, is it because you might be on the Russian payroll and you're all in on this massive cover up? Maybe. But it's just amazing. And this is why I say this to all of you out there. If you're dealing with somebody that cannot condemn one side, but for some strange reason, they're just energized to talk about one particular side, then you're not dealing with a sane individual. You're dealing with somebody that's clearly in a cult. And he must know that the law is keeping up with these antics, because he said he's worried about going to prison as a result of this whole little situation. And rightfully so. And so what I'll do is this, ladies and gentlemen, you have the evidence now. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire once again, because somebody has to fry on this show. When you lie, you must fry. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending Benny Johnson and every single one of you Trump supporters out there that continue to be a part of this cover-up. You're not even getting paid to do it in the comment section. You're doing it for free, which is even worse. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these demons straight to hell. And that is a huge, ladies and gentlemen, that is a huge W, Zeus. Now, they are now, I believe, the press is about to go meet with Bill Clinton right now. I think that's what I see happening right now. Is this what I'm seeing right now? They're talking about going to go depose Bill Clinton. We got some Democrats talking. Okay, hold on real quick.
Billionaires.
Let's see what's
getting
happening.
Away with a different system of justice. We don't want this to happen again, and that's why we're here today. We are serious about this, and my hope is that my Republican colleagues who say they're serious about it back it up with action.
Okay.
Not just with the questions you ask here today, but what you do from here on out.
Okay.
It's not about party. It's about this nation. It's about protecting our most vulnerable people. Thank you.
We have a couple more.
All right, I'm just checking in.
Walkinshaw from Virginia's 11th District. I am glad that President Clinton is going to sit down today with us and answer questions under oath. Anybody who had a significant relationship with Jeffrey
all right, so they're about to go in there, ladies and gentlemen, and test and talk to Bill Clinton. All right, nice. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to the show. keeping an eye on that. All right, let me go ahead. Now it's time for us to start having honest conversation with those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and tell the truth and do what? Shame the devil. All right, you know the rules. Bring whatever you need to bring up as it relates to the topics we're covering, right? And, don't bring none of that, outside stuff into the kingdom, all right? Because we got a show to keep on the rails. Don't let the people in the audience get you all worked up, all right? Just say what you need to say, all right? And if you accidentally send a guest request, what's the rule? If you accidentally send a guest request, no drama. You know why I said that? I thought about it and I said, this app is so huge, but you go out and get into this drama on TikTok. I didn't have anything to do with that, all right? So keep that outside, it's like, keep your drama where you're at. But, if it's drama on this show, leave it up to me. I'll handle it. But what you do outside of the show, I don't let that bother me one bit because, I've been on this app for so long, to be quite honest. And trust me, when I see drama, I go the other way. W Zeus. All right. Let's move things along. All right. Who do we got first in the guest request? All right, Nutty, you put a 1 up. Isn't that interesting? Good morning, Nutty. Welcome to Zeus News, Nutty. How can we help you?
So I haven't been able to be engaged in the kingdom this week like I've wanted to. So I made sure that my schedule aligned today.
Okay.
So I want to point out something interesting, Zeus.
I'm listening.
When we saw Pam Bondi testifying to the same committee, it was in public.
Correct.
Not only was it in public, we didn't see her answer one question from a Democratic congressperson. Not one. In fact, she pulled out what's been labeled as a burn book.
Oh, yeah.
Just to see what she could get them on, right?
Right.
I wish the Clintons had stuck to their original position that they would not testify unless it was in public. See, the reason why the Republicans want this to be in secretive is so they can spin the narrative.
Yeah.
So they can spin the narrative so the American people can't see or hear what was said.
Yeah.
They wanted to spin the narrative. But the fact is that Hillary Clinton will outsmart every single one of them on her worst day.
People often, I noticed that.
They seem to forget Hillary Clinton is a Rhodes Scholar. Now, for some of you who don't know what a Rhodes Scholar is a scholarship named after Cecil Rhodes, who was like super uber gargantuan rich.
Yeah.
That scholarship that's given to people who are named Rhodes Scholars, it gives them a scholarship to study at Oxford University.
Wow.
You are not going to study at Oxford University if you don't have the gravitas to study at Oxford University.
You're not.
People forget, they often forget that Hillary Clinton is a Rhodes Scholar. The woman is absolutely genius. Whether you like her politics or not, she's smarter than you can ever dream of being.
Facts.
She outsmarted them. She outmaneuvered them. She outspoke them. She gave them their own answers to their talking points before they could even knew they were talking points.
True.
I hope that the former president, I'm hoping that he goes in there today.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that he's very open, which I have no reason to believe that he will not be.
Yeah.
Because after all, he was the only one that came out publicly when people were saying his name was in the files.
Yep.
He's the only one that came out publicly and said, release them all. Release them.
Yeah.
A guilty person is not going to say, release the evidence. They're gonna keep saying we agree with hiding the Kraken, right? Release the Kraken. He told him to release it. So I absolutely believe that he's gonna go in and he's going to tell the truth. So here's the thing. You brought up Lawrence O'Donnell. I'm starting to believe you have a bromance with Lawrence, man. Listen, I love Lawrence O'Donnell too because he brings truth.
Well, he actually, Nutty, I'm a Trump hater, right? And I used to think that I was the biggest Trump hater, but I do believe Lawrence O'Donnell is a bigger Trump hater than me. Because of the history. He has history with Trump that I don't have. That's why. No bromance, bro. Because I'm the Rizzler. When you're the Rizzler.
But Zeus, with that being said, he is a Trump hater, but he is never lying on Donald Trump.
True.
That I think that needs to be differentiated here.
Pointed
because
out.
People like George in the comments.
George,
they always want to say that you're just only doing it because you hate Donald Trump. He brings evidence.
Yeah.
He brings facts.
Yeah.
He doesn't bring his opinions without facts.
Yeah. That should be a rule. You could be a Trump hater only if you are being honest about your critiques of him, right?
The fact.
Thank you. Right, good
Exactly.
point. W Nutty. That's a good point. And
So I
you bring it,
absolutely
Nutty,
wanna make
too.
that
You
clear.
bring facts. We all bring facts, but like you were just saying, Lawrence has been following this demon for a while.
But here's a fact that Lawrence brought.
Yeah.
Lawrence brought this fact and you played it.
Yeah.
Why won't they depose malaria? I mean, did I just say malaria?
Wow, that's that's deadly stuff, right? You got to be careful, Nutty. Wow, I see what you did.
When you sleep with Donald Trump, it is deadly. So
yeah.
Why won't they depose her?
Yeah,
because Hillary Clinton has already made it abundantly clear to them that she never met him.
Correct.
That she never met him. So why would you depose the former first lady?
Yeah.
The former secretary of state, the former senator? Why would you depose someone who's never met the man?
Yeah.
That's like deposing you, Zeus.
Yeah. I don't
So
have.
the reason they deposed her was because of her proximity to Bill Clinton, being his wife, and thinking that they were going to find something out through her that was going to get Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
That's why they deposed her. That's why they won't depose malaria.
Yeah.
Because they don't want malaria to be like, I plead the Fifth Amendment.
Yeah. Exactly. Viper, when were the photo, Viper, of him and Epstein taken, Viper? Do you know what year? They don't even know. It's sick.
Also, Zeus, thank you so much for bringing up the statement from when Donald Trump told the Palm Beach Police Department.
Yeah.
It's about time. Everybody knew that he was doing. Thank you for bringing that statement up and letting them see that.
Yeah.
Because what do we hear all the time? Oh, he turned them in.
Yeah.
He turned them in. No, he didn't. Tell the truth and shame the devil. He did not.
Thank you.
Why do you keep protecting a P3DO? Why? Either you are against the human trafficking of all people, or you're not.
Bingo.
It really is that simple, is it not?
Yeah. W's in the chat for Nutty. Yeah. And the fact is, that means Melania knew, he knew, and obviously Ghislaine and Epstein were all aware of what was happening. And for some strange reason, MAGA doesn't want to speak about it. They want to talk about Hillary being in the emails, but they don't want to talk about Trump being all throughout the emails or Melania being all throughout the emails. What does that say to you as a unbiased American? Because you lean left, but if you look at it as an unbiased situation, why do you think they're not being as transparent with us? I'm talking about the folks on the right when it comes about Donald Trump's ties to Epstein. Why are they? You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense.
Because they know that the truth is not in them. Transparency requires truth.
Yeah.
Transparency requires openness. Transparency, the word itself, requires that all facts are laid out on the table, that nothing is hidden.
Bingo.
That is full transparency. And the reason why they don't do it is because they're not telling the truth, and they know that they're protecting Donald Trump. They know this.
Thank you.
But they're trying to get you to forget that Donald Trump is in those files, mentioned in those files, collectively over 1 million times. Let that sink into your brain for a second, Zeus.
I got big brain power, but I know they don't.
I wish I had $1 for every single time he's mentioned in the files.
Yes.
For every single time he's mentioned in the file, I would be set for life because I can make $1 million stretch for the rest of my life.
Bingo. Thank you.
He's in the files.
All over him.
One thing Hillary did not do, and another thing that Bill Clinton is not going to do
Yeah.
in his deposition today, Zeus,
Yeah.
he's going to answer questions from both Democrats and Retrumplicans.
Yeah. And there's nothing.
He's going to answer those. He's going to.
Under oath. Under oath.
Under oath. And he's not bringing a burn book.
No.
He's not gonna change the subject and say, "Oh, Jim Jordan, but aren't you being investigated for the crimes you committed at stinky ass Ohio State?"
Yeah.
He's not gonna do that.
He should.
He's gonna answer their questions. Unlike Pamela Bondi, who's also in the files. Did you all forget that?
Bingo.
Pamela Bondi is in the files. And one more thing before I exit the kingdom, because I know you got a whole bunch of people coming up in here.
Yeah, but
Pam Bondi. Let's talk about Pam Bondi. Let's talk about her brother. Her brother, who all of a sudden is winning cases that the DOJ has brought against certain clients.
Oh.
And the law firm that her brother works at is in charge of all cases before the DOJ.
Fact.
And listen,
I heard about
case
this.
After case after case after case that's before the DOJ that her brother is the attorney on.
Yeah.
They've been mysteriously dismissed.
You know what that is.
Dismissed.
You know what that is. Plain and simple.
Doc, you're correct. Corruption to the core.
W Doc in the chat. Thank you, Doc. Doc 2.0. We all see it.
Yes. So Zeus, I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
Before you sign off today.
Yeah.
Before you sign off today, because I left my notes in the car.
Yeah.
I need to run out and get them.
Okay.
Can I come back since today is the last day? Well, tomorrow's technically the last day of February, but you don't hold your show on tomorrow.
True.
Can I come back and give you my last Black History moment that I promised the kingdom early February?
Very. Oh yeah, you did promise us that. Yes. Make sure you
sir.
send the request. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for W's in the chat for our good friend Nutty. Always keeping me honest. Yeah, see you, Doc. Okay, you too, Doc. Okay. All right, look at that. All right, what an incredible way to just move forward, ladies and gentlemen. All right, who do we have next? Who is this? Who is this, ladies and gentlemen? Let's see. All right, let's see. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. I'm trying to, I see some people there. I'm going, what? Who is who? Pap 577. Greetings. It might say refuse to call another grown man Papa on my show. That's just a huge W, Zeus. All right. I can't do it. Mama Sunshine. Good morning.
Good morning. I tried to get in the other day because I wanted to do a couple things. One, I'd like to truly and humbly apologize to you.
Me?
Yes, because I seem to have upset you the last time you had me up.
Really?
We will leave it there.
Okay.
And I also wanted to apologize to Mama for what's his face? You were running his video and he was doing a lot of foul language.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to apologize to Mama for listening to that.
Okay.
And I really, 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 really would appreciate it if you would sing happy birthday to me.
Oh, well, it's your birthday today, huh?
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, it's so much happening. Well, number one, happy birthday. All right. I gotta be nice. All right. But let's see. Now, normally I have a birthday song, but we got to do it on a different time, I guess, because we're on a. Maybe I could squeeze it in there if you don't mind towards the end, because I normally just do it at the end of the show. But happy birthday, all right? Now, was there something you wanted to say while you were up here? All right, because there's a lot. We got a lot to go. Oh my gosh, and it's the end of the month, but yeah.
Yes, and that's one thing I absolutely love is the fact that my birthday always falls on Black History, so I love that.
I mean, we love that too. Well, you know what? We're going to go out with a bang today, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wow. You know, it is what it is. I mean, seriously. All right. All right.
I wanted to agree with you on pretty much everything you've said for the last 4 or 5 lives. Absolutely just
Thank you.
spot on.
Thank you.
I love the fact that you send all the people where they need to go and give the flowers for those who need them.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I try my best, honestly.
I absolutely agree with Antifa. I really hope Bill says what he needs to say. Honestly, I hope that he comes out and says, yep, it was me. I did it. And I'm taking everybody down with me.
Bingo. Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping
Thank you. Yeah, because no stone needs to be left unturned as far as I am concerned. And, you know, this isn't really about Bill Clinton more so than it is about the survivors and the victims, right? And so I do appreciate that they're not falling for the traps and trying to, you know, make it about them like the Republicans are, and that they're going to do, hopefully, they'll tell the truth about what's going on. I mean, but I stand on this. If Bill Clinton is in there and he's done things the way that they're saying he did them, you know, some people are saying, I should say, that he has to be held accountable because no one's above the law, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. All right.
Again, and I have said this loud and proud on lives. I'm on with Miss T a lot. And I've always said this. I don't care if you have a D, a I, a R, if you are the Pope, you're God himself. If you did wrong, harming anyone, and especially children, you should be given your day in court, due process, the whole 9 shebang. But if they got you, they got you.
Bingo. Bingo, bingo, bingo.
Period.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, listen, we're going to try to squeeze you in for the birthday, all right? And I'm going to try to bring up some more guests, but thank you for coming up and, you know, send another request and we'll try to wrap it up with a birthday, all right? Birthday celebration, all right? Mama Sunshine?
Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome.
Appreciate you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you too. W's to the chat. Sunshine. All righty then, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we have next? All right, good morning to Keisha. Welcome. Takesha.
Hey Zeus, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm fine. Let me make a correction. God is not a human. He cannot be arrested. He cannot be sued. He cannot be taken to court. He created everything and everybody, and whatever he want to do is what he gonna do.
Yeah.
Now let's move on. Let me say this, Zeus.
Go for it.
I don't know if I'm looking at the Lauren Boebert thing the same as you are. I'm looking at it, and I could be wrong. I'm looking at it. Lauren, if you leak something while a deposition is going on, it's going to end that deposition.
Right.
The fact that she leaked that photo while it was going on, I think she was trying to end it.
Why? What'd she get out of doing that?
Because why would you be questioning Hillary? Remember, they tried to get her to not sign to have those to have that bill to pass, and she wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm thinking she did it purposely to stop the questioning because it makes no sense. That's just my thoughts. Because she could have sent that photo after the deposition, it wouldn't have stopped it. But why send it during it when you know that's gonna cause it to end?
But what did
I just be thinking outside the box?
You know, nobody got, you know, we're all looking and listening, but what would she gain from this, honestly?
It ain't what she gonna gain. It's the fact that she probably was sending us saying, why are they questioning her and nobody else? Because, you know, she's still upset with Trump because he wouldn't pass that bill she had for her state to get that clean well water, Zeus. You got to think things through. But like I said, that's just my thoughts.
Well, Kiki
always got something.
Stuff. Kiki always got an angle. Ladies and gentlemen, W to Keisha. That could,
Now the second
now,
thing
what was it? What
that
would
could be
what would be his motive, right? Okay, I could take you. You got me with that one, right? So maybe she's a little like, okay, this is a waste of time. Send it to, but why send it to Benny Johnson? You know, and why he going live like that? What is he?
because she knew he was gonna put it out.
Mm.
She sent it to who was gonna put it out quick while it was going on. I'm just thinking, Zeus. I'm just thinking.
So he the only one foolish enough to do it.
He's the only one foolish enough to fall for the trap.
W to Keisha right there. That sounds like something Gregory Jones would do. I can't rule it out, ladies and gentlemen. You know,
don't rule it out, Zeus. But check this out.
Yeah.
Okay, Zeus. It was somebody in the comments said that President Obama didn't turn Epstein in because Epstein gave him money for his campaign. They want the black man to be in these files so bad, Zeus, that they just making up stuff off the top of their head. This is getting really ridiculous. Look, the man is not in the files. Please leave President Obama out of this.
Yeah.
That man can't even finish getting gray in his head for y'all keep dragging him back to the presidency. Leave him alone.
Thank you. And whoever believed that, shame on you. Shame on you. You just showed your racism.
The third thing, Zeus, I got two more and I'm going to go. The third thing, when everything comes out and these MAGAs and Trump supporters and blaggers realize that Donald Trump is who those files say he is, there are going to be bridges full of people. People are going to be committing unalivings to themselves because they ain't going to be able to take the fact that the man that they put all their hopes and dreams and trust in is going to let them down like that.
Wow, you think so?
Trust and believe.
Does anyone think that
Zeus, I do.
anyone agrees that there's going to be a lot of full bridges and holding hands? All right. From you know what? Why would they do it though? Why would they do that? Why?
They so in love with him, Zeus. They don't think he do nothing wrong. That's what I'm telling you. When you're in a cult, you know, they made up the Trump derangement syndrome. That's what they have. When you believe a person over anybody, everything they say, you hang on their every word, you're deranged for believing it.
Yeah.
So you're the one with Trump derangement syndrome, not us.
Yeah.
We live in a land of reality. Y'all over here Rip Van Winkling. We woke and y'all still sleep, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
Y'all sleep in dreamland and we woke looking at reality.
There's no place like home. You know that?
No, you're still clicking your heels 3 times trying to get from the Wizard of Oz, trying to get from the land of Oz. And we over here sitting up on the Annie M table eating us some dinner.
Hey, I gotta give it to you, Takisha. That's. I mean, it's.
And this the last thing, Zeus.
Yeah.
Do you remember in that State of the Union when Donald Trump said that he instructed his administration to come up with a bill that's going to give everybody the same 401k that federal workers get, and they're going to match it with $1,000.
Yeah.
Zeus, the Biden administration passed that in 2022, and it goes into effect in 2027. So he is finna take credit for what Joe Biden already did in 2022.
Oh, no. Oh, wow. Wow. That's
it passed in 2022.
It's sad, man.
100 Republicans voted against it, but it still passed with bipartisanship. Wow. He's going to take credit for something that Joe Biden already did.
Wow. W, Takisha. Takisha, you came up here on a Friday and you cooked and booked. You delivered so much truth to everyone, and I can see you hurt a lot of Trump supporters' feelings this morning.
They'll be all right, Zeus. But I want to give a special thanks to everybody that blesses my me when I'm in the box with gifts, and those who send cash apps and will not let me know who they are. I really, really appreciate y'all. Y'all don't know how much that really helps a woman who is on fixed income, who it ain't fixed no more because of everything that's going on. But I really appreciate the love y'all give me, and I love y'all real hard.
We love you too. Thank you. Thank you, Takisha. See? We spread love, ladies and gentlemen. We don't spread hate on this show. Thank you so much. That's my sister, Takisha. No lies detected. Yeah. Oh, my God. Do I have anybody out there that disagrees Do I have anybody out there that disagrees with me out there real quick? Anyone that disagrees with any of the panelists out there? Who disagrees with us? Please identify yourselves in the audience real quick. It doesn't take long. It doesn't take long. Who anyone disagrees with Big Zeus, go ahead and identify yourselves. I'm giving them a few seconds, right? Because we've covered a lot of topics this morning, and I want to make sure they don't have an excuse as to why they remain, as far as I'm concerned, ignorant. Okay, all right. Well, look, we'll move it along. Moving it along. Who do we got right here? Bean. Good morning, Bean. Welcome. I think this is Bean. Bean, welcome. Bean, you're muted. Okay. Well, you know what happens that when you do that, Bean. We can't have that, but that's 2 galaxies, Bean. All right. I've told you. You can't if you accidentally send a guest request and you get in the box, 2 galaxies off top. No lies. No, because we got to have standards here. Fred Burnett. Fred. Oh, Fred, you going to jump out of my box like that? That's 2 galaxies, Fred. I caught you, Fred. So that's 2 galaxies from Fred. All right. W. Rick. Benny. Good morning, Benny.
Oh, I didn't. Oh my God.
Oh, that was an accident?
Yeah. Yes, I was tapping the screen.
Oh, okay, Benny. Well, you know the rule. 2 galaxies. Yes. All right. I'll trust that you'll figure it out. Do you need a payment plan in order to do that? Benny, where did you go? That's my new friend, Benny. Isn't she amazing? She's amazing, but a deal is a deal, ladies and gentlemen. We got to have standards. All right, you don't got to send it to me. Send it to the panelists that come on up here. Then how about that? Send it to the panelists. If you come up here, you got to start sending galaxies to the panelists. All right, moving it along. Angelia Rose Dawson Brown. Angelia Rose Dawson Brown, are you there? Miss Angelia Rose Dawson Brown. I could hear you. Ma'am, I can hear you. You pressing the keyboard right now. You're doing something. Angelia, are you there? The old I'm not at home routine. Somebody knock on your door. You want to pretend like you ain't home, but you saw me when I pulled up, Angelia. Now you gonna act like I didn't see you peeping out the window, Angelia? Come on now. Angelia, I saw you as I came up. And then you gonna get there, you hear me knock on the door. It is what it is, though. I guess folks really don't want to pay that galaxy fee. I guess people don't want to pay the galaxy fee. Oh, if you don't want to pay it, all you got to do is hop out of the guest request. I'm trying to be fair, ladies and gentlemen. I really am. All right. I'm trying to be as fair as possible. Erwin.
Good morning, Zeus.
All right. Was this an accident?
Oh, sir.
Okay.
I just want to tell you that I'm listening or reading Uncle Tom's Cabin right now.
Yeah.
If somebody calls me Uncle Tom, I'm going to take it as a good thing because Uncle Tom was a righteous man.
Mm-hmm.
He was a godly man. And somehow along the way, somebody turned it around. But if you pay attention, this has been happening for a long time. People like to change history because they don't want us to have our own heroes. Uncle Tom was a beautiful man. He sang beautiful. He was a real man.
But what did you come up here to talk about with politics? All right. And
This is directly related to politics because
we got to get there as fast as possible, brother. I'm trying to get you there. All right. You gotta come in. You gotta cook and book because we got a packed lineup. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'm sorry you don't understand what I'm trying to get to.
Well,
but history is very important.
well,
We're
hold
living
on,
right
hold on,
now.
hold on. Hold on, young sir, young grasshopper. It's not that I don't understand. Time is money, all right? I got a very limited schedule. And what I like for people to do is just get in here and make the point. Not so much I don't understand. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Thank you. So
I didn't mean you. I didn't mean
Well-
you directly, but in general, people don't understand that there's a certain community that you know what I'm talking about has been changed in history.
Yeah.
And we're reliving history right now. We're in a verge of a war. Okay, and people are too comfortable relaxing. In the United States, we don't know what it is to be hungry.
Yeah.
We don't know what it is to be poor.
Yeah.
A homeless person here in the United States has more opportunities than a rich person in some other countries.
Got it.
So the political point is, do not repeat history. We're in the verge of repeating history.
If we don't.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Erwin. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Erwin. There you go. Yeah, we are on the verge of repeating history. You know, they say you will repeat your, history. You're doomed to repeat yourself if you don't know your history. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move it along. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the reason I'm so sorry, I got to be a little pushy, but I got to get out of here real soon. And I want to hear from some amazing people, and I want to get some things done. So when you get in the box, and this is just something people got to keep in mind. Time is what? Time is money. Good morning, Val.
Good morning.
How are you doing, brother?
Doing good. I wanted to talk a little bit about Hillary yesterday, and one of the things that she said, and one of the things that we should be paying attention to when she had that interview after she got out. One of the things she said, and we've been, none of us have really talked about it because we talk about the hearings and everything that are going on, and everybody pulls it in. But she talked about the repetitiveness, how repetitive it was, how people kept asking the same question over and over again. And she said, and then she used the word productive. She said there was nothing productive about what they were doing. If you wanted to question somebody, I mean, people out there, Republicans can give Hillary all the hell they want to give her, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, you're dealing with one of the smartest women in the room.
Yeah.
Probably one of the smartest people in the room when you're talking to her.
Amen.
And these kind of things, and I want you to understand what she's really doing. She's pointing out government waste right in front of our face. Right in front of our face.
You mean Doge should be actually investigating what's going on right here in a way. That's funny to you, DJ? That's so funny.
Yeah. Is it funny, DJ? Yeah, because here's the thing, DJ. That little hearing yesterday probably cost the American taxpayers probably upwards of around $10 to $12 million for that little fiasco. Okay.
Yeah.
To ask the same question over and over and over
Hillary's.
again. I can think of a lot of places $10-12 million should go.
Thank you.
And it ain't to question somebody that wasn't even part of the files.
Yeah.
I mean, these are the things that we keep going. And the meme, although simple but true, that everybody keeps putting around, hey, I just need to know the address of where the pedo is. And they keep going 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Okay.
Yeah.
They
keep skirting around that address for some strange reason.
They keep skirting around that address, right?
Yeah.
The better meme's the one that has 20 dots on top of the White House, because that's really closer to the truth.
Yeah.
So these are the things that are going on right now, and y'all want to try to forget these files. You want to try to bring people up to scare the truth. And, and you're not paying attention to what's going on around you. In Texas, for example, right now, we have 3 people running for a Senate seat, and 3 people running for a couple other seats, and all on the Republican side. You want me to tell you what the Republicans are doing right now to their own?
What are they doing?
They're accusing them of funding transgender surgeries. They're accusing them of doing all these things they accuse Democrats of. They're accusing themselves for it right now.
Wow.
It is the biggest commercial fiasco I think I've ever seen in political history.
Wow.
You know,
This is
and
they're obsessed with this.
They're obsessed with this, and this is how they attack. Now, I want you to understand, if you'll attack your own that way with people that I know would have no part of that, right?
Yeah.
You know, if you want to attack your own like that, what are they really telling you? Oh, I'll tell you what they're telling you. They're telling you they're lying.
Yeah.
They're just flat out lying. The commercial process here is insane. The amount of money being spent in the state of Texas right now from the Republican side because they know they're in trouble is absolutely insane.
Wow.
There is no other commercial that comes on TV during news programmings that's not a political ad. None.
Boom.
They've bought every space that you could possibly buy.
Wow. Wow.
These are, you know what I'm saying? These are the things that are going on in the real world. And for people like you, DJ, if you don't understand why that is, it's because they know they're in trouble.
Bingo.
Why are they in trouble?
Tell them.
Because
Thank you,
of
Val.
the Epstein files.
And DJ doesn't want to have that conversation with any of us because he knows. He knows. And
He does not.
Thank you. Thank you, Val. You're totally cooking and booking. Ladies and gentlemen, you see what we need? We just need more folks to just be transparent and honest with the American people. Now, Val, what do you think about Donald Trump and Melania, though, not being, you know, they don't seem to be interested in having them testify in front of Congress about that. What do you think about that?
Well, you know, we're looking at a committee that's headed by Republicans, right? Headed by Republicans, and they do not want the output, right? They do not want to actually bring the truth to the table. We're talking about the same group of people that are now refusing to release the entirety of the files.
Wow.
That have already screwed up and done and let victims' information out that they were not supposed to do. This is the most defunct DOJ that I've ever seen in U.S. history. And I've been around a while. I have never, I thought Merrick Garland was bad.
Yeah.
That might shock you. You know what I'm saying? I thought Merrick Garland had problems.
Good
He
point.
doesn't hold a candle to what's going on now.
Yeah. Spot on. W Val, all right. Well, listen up, brother. We're going to move it on, all right? But as always, I appreciate you having the courage and the conviction to get up here and tell the truth and shame the devil. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Brother Val. When is the last day of early voting in Texas? Did I?
Early voting ends today.
Okay.
Early voting ends today.
Okay.
And the election is actually Tuesday.
There you go. I just wanted to make
You'll
sure.
have day of voting Tuesday.
There you go. I just wanted to make sure we got that out there for folks out there who might be listening to this show. All right, Val. As always, thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Brother Val.
Bye, everyone.
No lies detected. Let's go, Texas. All righty then, ladies and gentlemen. Moving it along, ladies and gentlemen. All righty then. Let's see. Who do we got next, ladies and gentlemen? Oh my goodness. Let's see. Edward, did you accidentally send this guest request? Because last time
Yes, I did. How you doing?
I'm all right. So you know what the rule is then, right? Because you
Absolutely. No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
So
I did not accidentally.
Oh.
I have before.
Oh.
So that's why I'm coming to the. I do jigsaw puzzles, and I put the phone next to it while I listen to you in the morning. And more than once, my name has popped up, and I just scroll out and come back a few minutes later. So it does happen. I'm not blowing smoke. It does happen. I mean, I don't have my hands on the phone I do move around doing jigsaw puzzles.
I've heard,
but
listen,
I listen to your show every day.
Edward, I've heard a lot of things from people, but I've never heard a man get up on my live and it was an accident and then use the excuse I do jigsaw puzzles.
Why do you gotta go there? Because I listen to you every day. What do I gotta lie to you for?
Because you don't want to obviously pay for the 2 galaxies, bro. Come on.
I'm not even signed up to give gifts. I don't know how to use TikTok. I listen to your show and probably the only show. Once in a while at night, before I scroll.
So I'm the only show you listen to on TikTok?
In the morning, most definitely. Yes, I do.
Well,
as I said, I started listening to you about a year ago.
Okay, all right.
For entertainment purposes. But now I listen for informative stuff.
Oh, Edward, you're doing quite the maneuvering in the box. I'm
Well, people grow.
I'm
or you go.
going to refer this matter to my customer service department for more investigation because I'm a little flattered in a way, but also concerned. So, but if you can, just kind of get straight to what is the point. You said you wanted to come up here and say something quickly.
Yeah, I just like to kind of. I know I'll get flack for Bill Clinton. I think was a good man that served his country the best he could, and he turned it around. And
so there's no
complaint. He lived in a different time, and now he got caught, and I just don't think it's right.
Wait, he got caught? So,
well, he did what he done. It happens. Back in the day.
Are you alleging he committed crimes? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think there were crimes.
Oh, okay. I get what it. Okay, so you just wanted to come up here and just say, in a weird way, you don't have a problem with Bill Clinton. Is that kind of what
I have no problem with Bill Clinton. I voted for him twice.
Okay. Do you have a problem with Donald Trump, though?
Of course I got a problem with Donald Trump. Okay. Did I vote for him? Yes, I did.
Okay.
Do I regret my vote? I just, I regret my vote, but I don't regret voting.
I didn't ask you that. I didn't ask you if you regretted voting. All right. But I was going to ask, did you regret voting for him? So those are two separate things.
Of course. Why wouldn't you?
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. What do you say?
Why wouldn't you?
Let me say something. What do I say? Because this guy named DJ that joins my show here and there, and you see these other blagga that support Donald Trump. What advice could you give me to help me get my point across to them, to help them get to where you're at right now? I'm just seeing if you got any.
The question is, when you say, do you support Donald Trump? What do you mean by that? How do you support a guy like that, but yet you support the country? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's the rub.
So you don't think DJ supports the country?
No, I think DJ is supporting the country. He just doesn't want to admit that Donald Trump is not a good man.
Edward, you know what? You don't owe the two galaxies, all right, bro? We're good. And I thank you.
Come on,
I thank you for saying that. And I know DJ.
I mean, why would I come up here and lie to you?
Yeah, we don't need to lie anymore. And I appreciate you saying that. He just doesn't want to admit Donald Trump is a bad man. Is that where he's at? Is that where he's at in terms of?
I think that's the way where it's at. I mean, I don't know. Somehow he thinks that that he's going against his beliefs. I mean, beliefs are one thing. You can vote. You vote for who you feel is going to do the best job. Did I do that? I don't know, but I definitely voted wrong this time.
Yeah, you went in the voting booth and you nuked yourself, like I've always said. All right, Edward, that was a good conversation. All right, I'm not gonna send you straight to hell, bro. I'm not even gonna ask for the two galaxies, but I think the words you said, they resonated with somebody out there who's possibly getting closer and closer to defecting from the cult. So thank you so much for that. All right.
I was never in the cult. I've known Donald Trump since the 70s. I'm from New Haven, Connecticut. He's been up that way.
Edward, I'm gonna drop you. Forgive him. He know not what he does. He know not what he does. Edward, you were in the cult because there's no way you're going to convince me that at any moment, any point in your life, it made sense to go and vote for Donald Trump. Because you said something, and I didn't want to get into this, Edward, but you tugged at it. But I got to say it. You watched the show for entertainment purposes only. And then things started getting real. And then you said, oh, hold up. I might want to start paying attention now to what Big Zeus and all the amazing panelists are saying, right? And that's the whole thing that I'm trying to call out. Yeah, the reason it was funny to you and a lot of other people, because you were getting off on watching what you believed were the liberals and the people on the left getting triggered, and you just thought it was all fun and game. But then, now we're seeing there are real life consequences to Donald Trump. Now, maybe I could have delivered it in a way where it wasn't so entertaining or whatever, but we've always been building this show on facts. There's nothing funny about any of the topics that I've covered. The way I even covered January 6th, I did an outstanding job. I remember my good friend Ange. She met me when I was just covering every day. I found, Biden administration, they'd find someone sentence them, convict them, boom, and then we sent them straight to hell on the show. It was entertaining, but there has always been a message in this. All right, and the message is very simple. Pay attention. Think critically, all right? So, Edward, I'm not going to send you to hell. I had to save you from yourself, though, okay? Because you were in a cult. And this show probably helped save your life. Now that I think about it, it's shows like this that probably saved your lives. All right. I mean, even I'll say this. Even we talk Tiny Tank Top, Tim Tom, Nasty Man, whatever he wants to call himself. If it wasn't for this type of show, ladies and gentlemen, he would probably be already locked up. He would probably be locked up somewhere doing something Donald Trump told him to do. Good morning, Jim. How are you?
Woo. Good morning.
Good morning.
I was starting to count my time as money. I'm like, damn, we got Edward up there before Jim.
No. You're doing good. You're doing good.
Are you frozen?
Am I frozen? No, I'm not frozen. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, good. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Now I can, yeah. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. You? I think there's a
Hey, did you catch that Val threw some bars down? Did you catch that? He said defunct DOJ. You could go somewhere with that.
Oh, I
The
might.
defunct DOJ.
I might go somewhere with that.
You could throw some bars to that. I
might
think
do
we should start taking notes for titles of your songs because that's the next album right there.
Fair enough.
Hey, and it came from Val. I was like, that was a good line right there. Defunct DOJ. And you could change it from DEFUCT to DEFUNKED.
Oh, W Jim. There you go, Jim. Just bars. You trying to be the
Just
Rizzler?
saying.
Okay, great. That's great. That's gonna get you up there.
So I've been in the box a while. I actually got dropped from the box 3 times. So I was like,
It's not
maybe
me.
I'm not coming
No,
up today.
no. It's
I know.
it's
I
TikTok
didn't say
doing
that.
that. Trust me, I don't do that.
I know. Hey, I got some pride in this moment because your morning opening about Hillary was so perfect because now it opens the box for us to bring up Melania Trump. I love this, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about Melania. Shall we take a little trip?
Please.
First of all, that picture you showed, put that picture back up. That picture you showed of the 4 of them, put that picture up.
Oh, let me get it. See if I can locate it. All right, let me see if I can locate it. It was on the. Let's see. Okay, let's see, ladies and gentlemen. Jim's asking for the photo. I got to go pull the video up on YouTube. All right, let's see where we're at. There we go. Okay, there we go. Hold on. Oh, there it is. I found it.
Sex trafficking co-conspirator.
But you know what? I think. Let's see. All right, here we go. Boom. There you go.
Now, there it is. Now, I want you all to hear Kelly Clarkson's song in the background, A Moment Like This. I want you to look at Melania Trump's hair. I want you to look how limp and thin that hair is. This is, prior to her marriage to Trump. I want you to look at those eyes that are really big right now, because that is not the look of Melania Trump these days. I want you to look at Melania Trump nowadays with her hair extensions and her cat thin eyes that have been pulled so tight that she can barely open them that wide. I want you to look at that. This is post kidney surgery the first time because she has a little bit of volume going on there. But if you go back to her nudity pictures, which there are lots of them out there, y'all can bring them up. This is when it all started. Now, I want you to think back that before she got into the Donald Trump spectrum, she came to this country on a visitor visa, a visa where she is not allowed to work. And in that year that she was here, did you hear me say a year? Yeah, she was here for a year on a visitor visa where she was only supposed to be exploring work possibilities. She overstayed the visa, and she literally was living with a roommate and a photographer staying on their couch, overstaying her visa, I believe some say by 10 months. She also was not allowed to earn money in this country, but record shows she earned about $20,000 from September to October of, I think, 1995 or 96. So then she was given her work visa in about November of 1996. So let's talk about how we want to have people in your comment section talking about that Columbia student who overstayed her visa.
Yeah.
You know, the one that was actually here on a student visa, you know, like Elon Musk had, but then Elon Musk never went to school. So like if we're gonna talk about other people and we're gonna talk about the illegalities that Department of Homeland Security and ICE are committing, let's always bring it back to this administration, shall we? And the people who were involved in the illegalities, like, you know, the felon at the top of the list known as Donald Trump. And let's talk about RFK, who also is a double felon, 2 felonies at the top of the echelon. So please don't tell us about crime or illegalities unless you're going to call out the very people sitting at the top of the spectrum. Now let's go to current times when in the first Trump administration, Melania Trump had the audacity to put up a website, you know, 6 months after he came into the White House because she refused to leave New York to come to Washington, D.C. First time in history that a first lady refused to come to the White House, but she did. So she comes to the White House and they put up a page for her. Does anybody remember what happened to that page about Melania Trump?
What page?
Do you remember?
I don't know. What? So
her first lady website. Every first lady has a website that. Right. You know why? Because they took it down. You know why they took it down? Because she lied. She lied on her website and claimed that she had a bachelor's degree in architecture. She lied. So they had to pull it down because she does not have any higher education. She lied. So there was that. Then there was her plagiarizing the other first lady. You know, what was her name? Oh, yeah, Michelle Obama.
Oh,
she plagiarized
I remember this.
Michelle Obama.
A black woman. She plagiarized it. Yeah, I remember this.
Not once, but twice. Plagiarized her twice. And then that Be Best campaign that she finally came up with, the Be Best campaign, Melania Trump did not create that. That was already a functioning, it was Be the Best. It was proper English. Be the Best was already a properly functioning government site that she stole it and plagiarized that and just dropped the, you know, Be Best.
Wow.
Because we don't use proper English in this particular White House.
Wow.
So there was that. So we have to start calling it out. Then she claims she can speak multiple languages. Is there any evidence? Have you seen any evidence that Melania Trump can speak fluent languages at all?
No, she can't.
Let
speak
alone
English.
English.
Yeah, I don't think she can speak English fluently. But I'm a nice person, and that's just how I see it.
Correct. So she claims she can speak 6 languages. That's what she claims. She says she can speak Slovenian, probably. She's probably very fluent in Slovenian. But she also claims that she can speak French and that she can speak Italian and she can speak German. She claimed all of this, none of which there's zero evidence for. See, this is the problem with Republicans and MAGA in particular, is there's never any evidence to any of their claims. And we've got to start looking at this for what it is. Did you know that when she went to Italy, where she claimed she was fluent in Italian, that they had to give her an interpreter because she didn't understand any of the conversations? The only word she ever said the entire time she was in Italy was ciao. Ciao. That's it. So I want the Republicans that are in your room.
Jim. That's a very tough word. Ciao.
I know. CIAO is very difficult. It's difficult to spell and it's difficult to pronounce. I think they should have just left off the O and just followed her with the CIA to investigate
If you can say that word, then you can speak the language. That's how I see it. I mean, let's be honest.
And the thing is that when we come up here, whether it's me, whether it's Takesha, whether it's Val, whether it's Nutty, everything I'm telling you, you guys can fact check me. And see, that's what real people want you to do that are telling you facts, is that you could fact check me. She had to be followed by interpreters anytime she traveled because she doesn't speak multiple languages. She lies about everything that she is. Everything about Melania Trump is not reality. It's fake hair, it's fake breast, It's fake love. It's a fake marriage. It's a fake education. It's fake. Everything is fake. It's all an illusion to make you think that that's the betterment of our society. But when you look at women like Michelle Obama and Hillary Clinton, who work to earn their degrees, who work to earn their standing in the world, those are the women that we want to represent. Those are the first ladies that carry the torch for the next generation. So make sure, MAGA, when you come into these spaces and you try to disrespect Hillary Clinton or Michelle Obama, that you better have a first lady that can even carry their bags, because this woman could not. She could not. And she wouldn't, because she's never worked an actual day in her life. She's only worked in a certain way, and it's the sandwich. She's the meat in between the sandwich of those two pedos right there. There you have it. Truth
Jim.
hurts. You better start repping.
Wow. That's the visual right
and
there.
I cannot wait.
Wow.
I cannot wait until these people are called to the forefront and are deposed to the fullest extent of the law.
Yeah.
So if you want to see the best TV in the world, make sure you are voting. Vote these people out of office so that we can watch this live on international TV, them having to come before Congress and them being held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. You don't have to believe me. Go Google everything I just said for yourselves. Go Google it. Go Google whether or not she had to have interpreters in Italy. Go Google her higher education. There isn't one. Go Google the fact that she has no background. This was actually in a court case where she was deposed and lied under oath in a court case, saying that she had a higher education and had to take down the website because of it. It is a lie. Everything about this woman is a lie. And she married for money, and she married for her survival to get to the United States so she could use her anchor baby and chain migration to get her entire family over to the United States of America.
Wow. Wow.
So while you attack immigrants, make sure you remember that Donald Trump didn't marry one, but he married two immigrants to give them their status, because Ivana Trump also wasn't an American citizen when she started popping out little Eric and Dawn. Yeah. True facts. So go research the actual history of Donald Trump and his first ladies, or she'd be actually his third lady, right?
Wow. You're right. Jim. Oh my gosh. Wow. You did it, Jim.
And I think third lady is a stretch.
Wow.
I think the word lady is a stretch.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we
just ask Putin.
Jim, ladies and gentlemen. No lies detected. All right, Jim. Well, we're gonna move it on, ladies and gentlemen.
Just wanted to wish you
you got more
great Friday.
Oh, you too.
Yeah, I just want to wish you a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Get some rest. Take care of yourself. And everybody out there, vote. Register to vote. If you're not, check the registrations in your counties. Make sure you're going to your Secretary of State's office. And the SAVE Act is nothing more than you having to be harmed if you are BIPOC, if you are an immigrant to this country, or if you are a woman.
Yeah.
If you want to protect your right to vote, make sure you understand how the vote works. You already registered through DMV or the Postal Service. They have your name, your address, your photo, and your thumbprint that gets processed through Department of Justice. They are trying to make you have a poll tax where you have to pay for your vote. And if you can't afford it because they're going after the poverty, make sure you understand that your Secretary of State's office has already vetted you. Understand that they are trying to harm American voters.
Thank you. All right, Jim.
Love you.
All right, love you too. Ladies and gentlemen, no lies detected. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give Jim a huge round of applause. All right. We're going to try to get out of here as quick as possible and start bringing up the closing act, so to speak. All right. But I want to say, because we got some closing acts to get through. I didn't know Friday was going to turn out to be this way, but it is. All right. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. All righty then. If you're a Trump supporter and you're triggered this morning, actually that's a good thing, all right? Because you should be triggered after listening to shows like this. Like Edward said earlier, yeah, it's funny at first, but then all of a sudden it gets real serious. Good morning, Doc. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month to you as well. Oh my gosh. Welcome. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Hey. Gentlemen, please, gentlemen, behave. All right.
Listen.
Yes.
Listen. We have tried to talk about everything this month, but the root of everything that's happening is based on racism, biases, and inequities. And y'all are not going to stop talking about the great things. So I'm going to start with a couple of bad news because, yes, Casey means we have mediocrity going on right now. If you guys aren't listening to the confirmation hearing, there's also some other things going on in a ICE facility with the children. I'm going to talk about it today at 3:30 while we celebrate y'all. Can y'all please celebrate the people that are trying to make history in our community, like the Black and brown doctors? We represent less than 5% of medical physicians, but yet we bear a cross to try to help the healthcare of everybody. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Jim. All right, so here we go. End of Black History Month. We're going to end with, there's a common theme, and you're seeing it right now, right? With policies that are trying to be made with resilience, but they're trying to still separate us. No, we don't still have segregation, but it's still happening institutionally. And I want to talk about this dichotomy of resilience. There is still Black women. Why are we 40% higher to have cervical cancer? Why is our mortality higher? Why is it that the Pap smear, yes, it was invented by a white man, but the Black physicians that carried it out, that made sure in the communities that we got our Pap smears, they're trying to bring that backwards, right? They're trying to turn it backwards. I don't know if you know, but the National Health Preventative Task Force has not meted and does not have a meeting on the boards. This preventative task force for cancer, Zeus, is the task force that makes the decisions on guidelines and what will be free to patients they don't have to pay for cancer screening. At a time we have more 30 and 4-year-olds having cancer. And I tell you that because I look under the microscope. And y'all can check me out on Monday, Wednesday when I actually show you if you want to learn something. Maternal mortality. Why in Texas are they trying to hide the numbers, the truth about the maternal mortality? Why in certain red states are they trying to hide the maternal mortality rate? Because they don't want you to know. Medicaid covers over 40% of the births in the United States. So why is it still that Black women are unaliving and the maternal mortality, to be honest, in general, is high for all of us? Then I want to talk about, because it's heart health, and Zeus, I saw your AI video, you looking fit and all of that
You
stuff.
see that?
That's great.
Thank you.
I saw that.
Yeah, no, that's
I
what
saw
happens when
that.
I cut the bacon out, so to speak, and replace it with things that are actually more nutritious for the body. You know what I'm saying? So thank you. Yeah.
You know why I'm glad you did that? Because Black Americans have a higher rate of hypertension, heart failure, and cardiovascular disease. And Wednesday on my live, I showed pictures of your blood vessels that get clogged. No matter how much exercise you do, if you have the genetic, unfortunately, predisposition, and you're not eating and exercising right, you're still gonna end up having hypertension, high blood pressure, or even a stroke or heart attack.
See what I'm saying? See
just
what I'm
be
saying?
aware of that.
Yeah, thank you, because you saved my
And
life.
you
We all have our own doctors, but that was some advice that I didn't get from my doctor. So thank you, Doc.
Yeah, we got to remind y'all sometimes to bypass Mickey D's, or the arches, should I say. But Dr. Daniel Hill Williams, a Black man, did the first successful open heart surgery. If we were to take away the inventions that Black people have made, including, I always talk about the father of blood banking. I always talk about Dr. Charles Drew, because it was a true testament to the racism in this country when his blood and the Black blood that he collected was not needed, was not wanted, but yet his inventions were, and Red Cross to this day still does not own up to it. Very, very, very interesting. That's the dichotomy I'm talking about. That's still, we're in the same country, separate lanes, double standards exist, and there was a bit of justice that was made. And you know what? Let me tell y'all, I could be doing this on my live when I get 15, 20 people, but I'm doing it in Zeus's live, so I hope that y'all do continue to support us. I'm truly trying in my free time. My husband just lost his father. He had to go back to the motherland. Yeah, he had to go back to the motherland. I got a teenager that's acting up, and I'm coming on here for y'all. So
Thank
I
you.
just want y'all to understand each other's support.
We appreciate you, Doc. All right. You know what I do over here? What we do is, each one teach one, so to speak. And yes, we're going to keep giving you the boost that you need and the motivation you need. All right. Because
Thank you.
people need this, but they don't know they need it. That's the problem, right?
They don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know. But let me tell you what happened. I'm almost done. Henrietta Lacks, we remember her, a Black woman who, by the way, ironically, had cervical cancer and part of her tumor. And I don't know if you guys know, when we collect it, we have to get a consent by the patient if they want their material to be used.
Yeah.
In the lab, we don't just take the stuff like you guys think we don't. We have to have proof that it can be used for research. Hers was taken without her consent in 1951. So just recently, though it's under the table, Novartis did make a settlement with the Henrietta Lacks estate the other day. Yes, they did. So they made a settlement. For the many, many years, they were greedily using her cells without her permission. And on a side note, this is the stuff we have to deal with. The chairman of the department I was working at the time in a prestigious medical institution sat in the middle of an ethics committee and said, my chairman that I had to deal with every day said, well, I don't understand what the problem is. It was helping society, so why do we need to make amends with the family? Yeah, this is
What nationality
over.
What nationality is, if you could disclose that? I don't know. I'm just always curious. Oh, there you go. I caught it. I caught what you just did. It's always it's
got what I just did.
Yeah,
the double standard.
Yeah, it's sad.
And he's in leadership.
Wow.
He was in a leadership position, which brings me to Black physicians make up 5% of the U.S. doctors, but leadership, it's even worse. And sometimes they put us in positions of power. I've been in a position of a medical director without giving us the power. So they know what they're doing. So when Black physicians train twice as hard to get the opportunity, and leadership pipelines are narrow, we need to push them up into these positions. We have a doctor who never finished residency, who never got a board certification because you have to finish residency to get it, who never got an actual state license because you have to have a board certification to get a state license, now is in the middle. It has not been confirmed yet. It has not been confirmed by the Senate yet, but she was up this week, and it was the most embarrassing, concerning thing. Where I'm looking at these two lanes, where I'm running like this, where I gotta look good, I gotta make sure I know my SHIT, and then I got somebody who didn't finish medical school who wants to be a wellness. And be very cautious when you hear wellness.
Wow.
And I'm gonna do a deep dive of looking at people's doctors on this app so you can see how half of them are not doctors. But now she got her medical degree, but never finished residency. So she's not a specific doctor.
Right.
And she could be the Surgeon General. It is a slap in the face to us that truly did the work and practice. And I'm 15 years out. I would not even go for that position, triple board certified, straight out of school.
Wow.
And she has the audacity, or should I say started with a C, to think that she has the right and deserves to be in this position. It's absolutely, I hope it doesn't go through. I'm praying for a miracle. For the end of Black History Month, I'm praying for a miracle. And I just want y'all to know, it's not about our struggle this month for Black history. It's about a nation that's always had two realities at once. Two realities. We built hospitals we weren't allowed to work in. We advanced science that didn't allow us to protect us. We led despite being underrepresented. The dichotomy is real. The rise is undeniable. But will we finally rise? And I will always rise.
Yeah.
But will we finally catch up to where we understand it's not about equality, it's about getting the inequities up? Because you have a door open, you have a hospital, but you're going to treat the Black patient, you're going to treat the brown patient differently, then they're not going to go back to that hospital. So we've got to call it out. And I want y'all to share this with all of the YT doctors that you guys show me their social media. I haven't heard them speaking about Black History Month and the inequities at all. And that's how I close. Happy Black History Month.
Thank you. Wow. Wakanda forever. There you go. Black Panther. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you guys for the gift.
They love you. Thank you so much. This wouldn't be possible, honestly. Ladies and gentlemen, Show Doc some love. No lies detected. It wouldn't be possible. All right, Doc. Now we're gonna move it along. Big Zeus has to wrap it up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get a huge round of applause. No lies detected. Yeah, we're wrapping up Black History Month. All right, ladies and gentlemen, bear with me. All right, we're doing the closing acts and then we're out of here. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I know I've got to bring my brother Nutty back up. All right, we're wrapping it up. We're wrapping it up. All right, hang in there. Good morning, Nutty. You're back.
Let me get right to it. Barack Hussein Obama. To close out Black History Month. First of all, I want to point out the etymology of the name Barack. Barack has roots back in Arabic and also Hebrew, and it means to be blessed. And I said that because I want to trigger MAGA some more. His name means a blessing. So I know they like to say Hussein Obama, but yeah. So anyway, born August 4th, 1961 in Honolulu, Hawaii. Imagine that. Part of the United States of America. Made history as the 44th president of the United States and the first African American to hold that office, embodying a powerful milestone celebrated during Black History Month. Raised by his mother and grandparents, who were white, Obama's early life took him from Hawaii to Indonesia before he returned to attend Punahou School and later earned degrees from Columbia University and Harvard Law School. His presidency from 2009 to 2017 was marked by landmark achievements, including the Affordable Care Act, i.e. Obamacare, the economic recovery efforts following the 2008 financial crisis, and the signing of the Paris Climate Agreement. Known for his calm leadership, God, how we miss that today, and message of hope, Obama's legacy continues to inspire generations as symbols of progress, perseverance, and the ongoing pursuit of equality. So, let us say his name together. Barack Hussein Obama. A living legend and the 44th president of the United States of America.
There you go.
Let us celebrate our Black history and never let us forget the achievement. Dr. Keisha just said it in her statement. Let us never forget the achievement of Black history in this country because
Amen.
Black history is American history.
Amen.
Thank you so much. Zeus.
Amen. There you go, gentlemen. That's my brother Nutty bringing it up, coming in sturdy and early. All right. I appreciate it. Yeah, now we got a Creative Inks. There you go. Thank you so much. All right, look at that. We're wrapping up Black History Month in an incredible way. All right, now let's see. Birthdays. It's a birthday celebration time. So whose birthday is it this month? We'll just do them all together. I know Mama Sunshine, you said it was your birthday. Who else's birthday was? I got some spaces up here. I'm going to try to get as many of them in here as I can. If I didn't get your birthday in this month, it doesn't mean I love you any less. It just means I have to go. Who else's birthday is it? I'm taking your word for it. So if you're up here lying saying it ain't your birthday, we will expose you. All right. Who do we got? Mama Sunshine, you here? If it's your birthday, put a 1 in the chat. Okay, Gucci. Okay, Gucci. Okay, Gucci. Go. Come on up here, Gucci. All right. We got Mama Sunshine. We got Gucci. We're going to do them all at once. Who else's birthday is it? Oh, Queen Flea. Go on. Come on up here. It's your turn. I'm going to do this. Love your show. Love you too. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what to do. Rush to the back of the club. Go ahead and turn your money in. Get the ones. Get the ones out. Get the ones out. Who else? Who else? Come on. I got a few more. I got 3 more slots. I'm looking in the chat. Who else's birthday was it? I mean, if your birthday was in the month of February. If your birthday was in the month of February. Come on up here. All right. Come on. We don't got all morning, ladies and gentlemen. I only see you 3 then. Yes?
Can I say something real quick?
You sure can.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there is 934 of you in here, and I hope that each and every one of you are following the most handsome,
there you go,
the most honest, and the most humble man on the internet.
Amen, amen, amen. You're going to get far with that attitude, I tell you what. All right, well, listen, how you doing, Gucci? If you could talk, I just wanted to see if you're there, but if you can't talk, don't worry.
I can talk. Hi, Zeus.
Hey, how are you?
Good morning.
I
I'm
see
good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. You've been putting in a lot of work out there. I've seen you. All right. I just wanted to let you know I'm one of your biggest fans, one of your biggest supporters. All right. Keep
Oh
up
my
the
God, I am one of your biggest fans.
Yeah, I know, but I'm actually your biggest fan. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's my good friend Gucci. There you go. Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna try to be quick, and then Queen Flea, how are you doing? How are you doing, Queen?
Doing well.
You're
I'm gonna go.
you're getting the eggs, and where's the rooster at? Remember, you had a rooster named Zeus.
Oh, yes, he's
Where's
still doing fine.
He's still running
He's
things,
in
right?
the back. I'm gonna lose. I would lose my signal
Don't
because
don't
it's
don't
so
do
far
that.
back.
Don't do that. But make sure you send
Yeah,
him
yeah,
my
yeah.
regards. All right. I appreciate when you name the rooster after Big Zeus. That says a lot to the kingdom, ladies
Oh,
and gentlemen.
he was
This
the
is
boss.
yeah. You did the right
He
thing
was
because
the boss. Dude.
yeah.
Hey, check out. These are the roses for all my women in this chat.
Oh wow! Look at that! Look at that! Well, you know what? We're
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and do this, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I gotta sing "Happy Birthday," and so you know the rules, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you changed in your currency and turned because we're about to make it rain up in this thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know the rules.
Thank you.
I heard it was somebody's birthday.
Hey.
I heard it was somebody's birthday.
Let's go.
Yeah. PJ Panda birthday song.
Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. You know what we do.
Today is your birthday. We gon' say it loud.
Turn up.
Today is your birthday. I know you're so proud.
Hey.
Today is your birthday. We gon' turn out.
Hey.
Party, get it lit and wild out.
We gonna get it lit, ladies and gentlemen.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Wow! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. Get a
Turn up,
cake,
turn up,
blow
turn
the
up, turn
candles
up.
like a
Hey,
kiss.
hey.
Throw a party, everybody bring it.
You know what we came to do here, ladies and gentlemen. Wow.
And it's lit.
And it's lit. Oh my God. Where am I going? Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Show some love to the panelists. Show some love, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. Yes. Oh. Hey, hey.
We gon' say it loud. Today is your birthday. I
Let's
know
go.
you're so proud. Today is your birthday. We gon' turn out.
Hey, there we go. Got it back, ladies and gentlemen. Happy birthday. Let's go. Woo, woo, woo.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Hey, come on. What a great way to wrap up Black History Month, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, look at that. Look at all this love in the kingdom. Gucci, Queen, Mama Sunshine. Hey, 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 hey. Whoop. Hey, look at all this love. I haven't done birthdays in a while, ladies and gentlemen. My computer is on overload, but we're getting it out there. Turn up. Hey, 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 hey. Happy birthday. Thank you all. We did it. I don't know how we pulled this off, ladies and gentlemen, but we did it. I appreciate all of you who made this happen today. Seriously.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much.
All righty then. All righty. All right, you lovely ladies.
Have a great weekend.
Y'all.
All righty then.
Make sure you protest.
All right, we'll do. All right. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's a way to wrap this show up. Oh my gosh. Yes. I haven't done birthdays in a long time. All right, I really have. I think the last one I did, never, it was a very special birthday. Now that I think about it, shout out to Brother Attacking. I think that was the last birthday I celebrated, Brother Attacking, and I'm gonna miss him seriously. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, what a great way to end Black History Month. We did a lot of cooking and booking. We did a lot of frying this month, and we had to, rightfully so, because we're not going to let Donald Trump get away with his crimes against humanity, so to speak. All right, I want to give a special thank you to all of you out there, especially to the gifters, subscribers, and panelists who had the courage to come up here. We made it happen when I didn't think we could. Seriously, you deserve a huge, huge round of applause. I see you, Ange. Stay warm out there, all right? All of you stay warm. All right, but on a serious note, we got to give one last round of, you guessed it, booze and shame. And this goes out to all of the Zeus haters out there, a.k.a. Guardians of P3Dios. You're the worst of the worst. You're truly the scum of the earth. And when this is all said and done, don't ask me for forgiveness, because you rightfully deserve to go straight to hell. Wow. We did this, ladies and gentlemen.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. We are out of here playing everyone's favorite song. All right, let me see if I can get this thing queued up. Oh, yeah, here it goes. Here it goes. All right, you know what it is. Here it goes. There it goes. All right, we're out of here. I am out of here. Wow, what a show.
What about body? Yeah, yeah. What about body? Oh,
great show.
What about body?
She fit. Yeah, that ain't right. Hey, where we begin. So cold. Cindy. Y'all get out here. Marissa, let's go. Jewel. Isn't this the saddest song, ladies and gentlemen, that you've ever heard in your life?
Yeah, what about body?
Yeah.
What about body?
All right, there you go. W Heaven. Put them Biden. Put those Biden photos in the chat. Hunter's laptop.
China cash flow, million conceal. Family getting pain, influence pedal while we out here struggling, pockets unsettled. Weaponized OJ, FBI raids. Mar-a-Lago storm, but Hunter gets praised. January 6th, locking up brands, but Joe's
classified docs in his garage, man.
Keystone cancel, energy weak. Depending on foes, gas $4 a week. Crime in the cities, soft on the streets, defund the police. Chaos complete.
Hey. Yeah, the vote. Remember Biden rigged those votes? Hey.
Millions crossing, drugs pouring. Where we begin?
What about Biden? Wow. Economy dying. Can't feed you. That's what Biden did to this country. 13 soldiers gone. Joe acting blind. That brother put his whole heart into this. What about Biden? I hope they ask Bill Clinton that today. Right? They should ask Bill Clinton about Biden, huh? Who should they ask about? What about him? Oh, that's a interesting. I almost kicked him out of the studio when he wrote this. This is a very, very sad song. I can't take it. I can't take it anymore. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your morning.